All right. Test, please, the sound. Cool.
40% of our orders, most of our orders.
All right. Stop trying to sell me stuff, TikTok. All right, man. Thanks. I just now went live, so if you guys can do me a favor and get the likes up and support my dying YouTube channel. What's up, Ghost? Hopefully we can get a little bit of engagement today. We'll see what happens. So we just now went live, and the question on the table is, hey, why should I stop being a Christian? So if we get enough likes up, hopefully we get some guests, and Constantine begets atheist. I think I need an argument for that. And anyway, you mean Constantine the Emperor begets atheist? Yeah, we'll definitely need an argument for that. Man, it's good to see you, Ghost. Appreciate it. Sons of Cerberus, how are you doing? God bless. Thank you so much for tuning in to some of the lives we've been traveling around in today. Hopped into a few as a guest. We're going to see how it goes. Just keep liking. We'll get the likes up and then see if we can let someone up. Okay. Can I call you something else besides Mr. Bitches? But
you can call me Jay. You can call me Jay.
What up, Jay?
Nothing, chilling.
What's up, man?
You should stop being Christian simply because the Bible is very controlling. It's like to show women what to do with their bodies, and as Christians, like y'all, so judgmental. Y'all push y'all try to make us be Christians and things of that nature.
Hey, man, was that a judgmental statement that you just made?
Nah, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, by the way.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What? Are you LARPing?
Yeah, I'm LARPing as a atheist.
Okay, man. Have a good day. All right, so we'll get better as we go. That's definitely a burger strike. Christian with a username that says Mr. Bitches. That's weird. Anyway, Jay, man, this beard just came in overnight, literally, bruh. So anyway, yeah. What's my denomination? Man, I'm a Baptist unleaded. What's up, based? So yeah, let's just try to get these likes up a little bit, and as soon as we get some likes up, probably past 3,000, if we have any guests, we'll let them up. And hey, how you doing, Craft? And the conversation today is, hey, why should I stop being a Christian? Like, for real. As far as Presbyterianism, I don't know. Child safety. I don't want them swimming around in that water after they've made a confession of faith and they can't really get out of it. You know what I mean? I want them to be able to swim out of there once they've professed their sins and administered the gospel. I think those Presbyterian babies need to be able to find their way out of that full immersion. And some of the babies can't swim. I've always wondered how that goes. So, I just worry about their well-being and all. You know what I mean? Was I just say I hate babies? That's crazy work. Bruh. That's crazy work. So anyway, keep smashing the like button. Click like and subscribe. Buy all the merchandise that I don't have that's for sale. And go to this struggling YouTube channel that says Constantine-Chronicles. Nails. I don't want none of that Paladin smoke, man. Don't want none of the smoke. We're the merchant. I don't have merch, bro. I'm not cool. I'm not cool. Go subscribe to my channel. Then go subscribe to Q-Top's channel. He's got some good stuff over there, right? We're going to keep getting the likes up. Hopefully we'll get a guest. Need a Constantine hoodie. Man, that sounds like effort. Let's see. It depends on the person. You know who commented. You know who you are. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. I wanna. You would buy it, Cassie? You would buy a Constantine? You buy a Constantine hoodie? All right, that's what's up. We're gonna be bringing up. I think we're gonna be bringing up. Uh, who was it that just swept through? Grumpy. Cassie, I might get a Constantine hoodie. What should I put on it? I don't even know what to put on it. What's going on, Grumpy? Actually, Grumpy, you're gonna have to come up here and defend yourself. Yeah, come on up. All right, we're gonna start cooking.
Defend myself. What's
Yeah,
going on,
yeah.
man?
Stay there for about an hour and a half, and like the life. All right, let's see. I'll get to my
Now,
look. Right now, by my clock, it's 3:30. I'll get to my argument probably around 5. So just stay put.
I'll probably be too lazy to stay around that long. I'm not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie. All right. Man, somebody needs to come up and convince me not to be a Christian anymore. 'Cause I tell you what, it sure is a lot of hard work being a Christian, man. I got to read this Bible. I got to go to church. You know what I'm saying? I got to get convicted of my sins. Tired of it, man. Someone needs to come up here and convince me not to be a Christian, bro. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Convict me of my sins, make me feel bad about it. Christ alone. Mustard dilemma. Yup, man, that's big, boy. That mustard dilemma is very persuasive, bro.
Yeah.
It's very persuasive. Very persuasive. So, man, we're going to try to get them up, man. Try to get the likes up. Share it out to your friends. Ought to be getting some guests in. I don't really have announcements, but I need some. So here's an announcement, right? And here's what I'm asking for Christian charity. Go to my struggling little YouTube page that has only 290 followers, but they're dedicated followers, mind you. And click like and subscribe. And then we're going to ask Christ alone if he did. And if he didn't, we're going to condemn him in the church. Christ alone, have you subscribed to my dying little YouTube channel?
I'll do it. I didn't even know you had one, man.
Exactly, bro. That's the problem, bro.
I'm gonna be honest.
I think I
It's
subscribed to
completely
your
disgusting
channel.
that you have.
That's the
It's
problem,
completely
bro.
disgusting that you only have 290. That's actually like crazy, man.
That's what I'm
You should have
saying.
much more, brother.
Christ
Come on, man.
alone is in my crew that shall go unmentioned, right? There's a crew that shall go unmentioned, in which Christ alone is a part of. We do work together. You know what I'm saying? Offline. Oh, I got some guests, bro. Y'all didn't tell me I got some guests up in here. Let's see what I
Is it
got.
the same name on YouTube? Constantine Chronicles?
Let's see, man. Mr. Bitches is back, bro. You LARPing, dog. You came up here earlier and you told me you was LARPing, dude.
All right. I'm actually a Christian. I'm a Christian and working on myself. You know. I apologize for coming on your platform trolling, but
Oh, God
I'm
bless you,
actually,
man.
I actually follow you though. Like I'll be watching your stuff. I like what you do, bro.
Oh, well, hey, man, I appreciate you, man. And glory be to God. Not all of us are where we should be. Continue along your walk, and may God be with you and have mercy on us all. I'm no better than you. I can assure you of that, bro. Promise you. Hey, I promise you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, me getting on here and doing apologetics don't mean I'm a better Christian than you. Trust. So you coming up here and saying God's still working on me. Hey, amen, bro. Amen.
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 All right, man. Bet.
All right.
God bless you. Amen for conviction on that one, man. All right, so check it out, yo. Constantly reminds me of my uncle. It's because I'm old, bro. Can I debate Unitarians? I have before. Unitarians are tough to debate because they share the worldview of Christianity. So it's going to be, if you're going to debate a Unitarian, you need to pack a lunch. Some of them are pretty well versed. It's going to be a lot more difficult debating them than atheism. Let's see what I got. Truth, Nuker, what's up, homie?
What's up? Why are you Christian?
Yeah, I believe it comports the states and affairs of reality.
A reality.
Mm.
What is so logical of a man dying and a God dying? What is that? What is that? What is that of reality? Well, I don't get it really.
What do you mean? What are you saying? Is hold on? Is
The
God
whole concept, the whole concept of Jesus Christ, basically,
okay? So that's
him being God and him dying, basically. How is that?
are you conflating the incarnation with what we call the Trinity?
Yes, sure.
So you are conflating those.
Yes, if you want to say that, sure, yes.
Okay, so you're asking two different questions. You're saying why does the incarnation make sense, and what's up with this Trinity thing?
Hey, that's what you said. I'm just saying yes or no to what you're saying. I asked you one question. What is logical of a man saying he is God than him dying?
When you say
That's what I'm asking you.
when you say logical, that's a specific language model, right? And so in that specific language model, number one, I'm going to take it easy on you for charity purposes because I don't think you're going to know how to qualify that language. But two, if it's illogical, what you need to do is posit a contradiction.
Okay, so then explain to me what's the Trinity.
One essence, three persons, co-equal, co-fundamental, subsisting in the same nature.
Okay, so both of them are equally as powerful, yes or no?
Okay, why is that a yes or no question, and why do it makes
But
you
I'm
think that's a
just say yes or
dichotomy?
no. I'm just asking you,
I I, I,
are
under,
they equally God, basically?
I understand you want it to be a yes or no question, but my problem with the yes or no questions is that it presents it that
Mm.
as in the case that it's an actual dichotomy. But you need to earn that, right? So when you say that they're equally God, yes, they're co-equal, co-fundamental. So you're conflating again a what with a who.
So why does Jesus pray to the Father though? I don't get that part,
Yeah,
really.
because we believe in a personal God, right? And
Personal
so,
God,
yeah,
yes.
an interpersonal God. So, Jesus, the
Mm-hmm.
incarnation, is praying to in obedience, but obedience does not necessarily mean submission, and submission doesn't necessarily mean obedience.
So if a man prays to a deity, is that not worship to you?
Okay, is that obedience or submission?
That can mean anything. That's to me, that seems like submission. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So, if you're obedient to your wife and she says, "Hey, can you take out the trash for me later? I'm going to be at work before you are," and you take out the trash, are you now submit? Is your wife now Are you submissive to your wife at that point? So she's wearing the pants in the house, or what? Or you just
Absolutely not.
okay. So
Absolutely
it's
not.
just right. So obedience wouldn't be the same thing in which you're conflating.
But that's not obedience though. He is worshiping. That's worship.
Okay, wait a minute. What's your argument for that?
Jesus is not God.
Okay,
So there's no
that's an assertion. You're gonna have to help me out on that.
Jesus is not God. It doesn't make sense for Jesus to be God.
Okay, saying Jesus is not God, it doesn't make sense. That's just another attitude towards a proposition. But your behavior or attitude or belief about a proposition doesn't reduce its value. So, do you have something else?
I mean, that's the only thing that's the whole falsedom of Christianity, that
You
Jesus
said
being God.
falsedom. Falsedom's not even a word, but you're going to have to
But it
prove
is
it to be
false.
false.
It is false.
That's
Sorry,
you.
English is not my first language, but
It's
Christianity is
understandable.
false.
Okay, how do you know that? And do you have an argument to suggest otherwise?
The whole Bible.
Okay, that's that's a broad, sweeping claim. So Christianity not true. The whole Bible doesn't make sense. Look,
Yeah, but I have a question. Can you prove to me Jesus is God without the Bible?
okay. So again, we got a lot of claims on the table. But if you want me to prove Jesus is God as the incarnation and how it subsists inside of the nature of the triunity, is that what you're asking? You would want an argument for that, right? And you're not going to be able to cope with it. That argument's
Yeah,
way too
but you
sophisticated
can't
for
prove
you.
to me. You can't prove to me
What do you
Jesus is
mean by
God without the Bible.
what do you mean prove? And why would I need to leave the Bible behind? What would you take to be proof?
That means you only need the Bible to prove Jesus is God. That means He is no
Wait a
God.
minute. Are you saying
That
that
means you just need a book to prove that to you that He is God.
that's a straw man on my position? I'm arguing for something that is eternal. The revelation can be chronologically posited within a specific timeline, if there is a such thing as a timeline.
But
And then with hold on, and so that is a revelation. And let's say if there is a such thing as a moment, a said moment, then we would have to argue for an eternality of something that was decreed in eternity past, if there is a such a thing as past.
so who gave Jesus the revelation?
Okay, so that's again, you're conflating a who with a what.
But I'm just asking, who gave Jesus the revelation? Yes or no? Just tell
That's
me who.
you ask me a who, and then you think it's a yes or no. All right, man, we're gonna move on. We'll try another one.
You really asked who, and then he
He
said,
said
yes or
who,
no.
yes or no, like that. All right, we're gonna try something else.
Hey man,
What's up, man?
you shouldn't be Christian.
Okay, why's that?
Well, if you want to go with a religion that's created by your own people, I mean white people, you should be Mormon.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that white people created Christianity?
Yes, King James.
Okay, I remember you. King James created Christianity. So what you're saying is that there was never a Mesopotamian region or a nation of Israel, or there was never like,
No,
let's say, a Mediterranean region which consisted of Palestinian Jews. Were those white people?
I don't see Palestinian walking around.
Okay, yeah. Is there anyone that's sane? All right, we'll try this again. That was crazy. Okay. Halal, why are you up here?
Yo, have you ever spoken to that guy before? He believes Muhammad and Jesus were brothers, and then Jesus hibernated for like 700 years in some cave,
Yeah.
and then came, bro,
It's
and then like he was in the pyramids of Giza. Like, bro.
There's no
Dude.
way, bro.
Dude.
No
Like, I
way.
was so stunned, bro. The first time I genuinely got a notepad out, and I was like, let me write this as you say it.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's a show. It's a show.
Is this like a is this like
dude,
a
like,
is this a different
yo,
belief system or something? Like
yeah,
is it a heretical group?
dude, like, I don't know what Quran,
Or
like, I
just
think,
them?
like, you know, like the Mary, like being like daughter of Imran or something. I think like he tried to reconcile that, and then like he just ended up saying Jesus was hibernating, bro, like some polar bear, like,
What?
yo.
Is that his own belief or is that the belief of his
Yeah, like
heretical
I've
group?
never heard any Muslim believe this. I can't lie. This is like some
Oh, he's a
out there.
Muslim.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
like
French.
I think he's of like Pakistani origin, but like he's always going up against all the Muslims, being like, they're not Muslim, they're kafir. I'm like, yeah, man, GG's.
Well, Halal,
But
how you been?
I've been good. How you been? I wanted to ask you something. I've got a series of objections written against the hypostatic union and the Trinity. But there's like this sort of argument that sort of ties the two together. So I argue that do you hold to an EO position?
No, not you.
Do you believe Jesus has two wills or like one composite will?
Yeah. When we get into that, what are the two words for it that they use?
Miaphysite and what's the other one?
Diaphysitic.
Diatheletism.
Yeah. Man, that sounds really Eastern.
So you would say he's got one composite will?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised you don't have a position on it, to be honest.
Well, when we talk about the nature of Christ, we're going to say that there's, right, the person of Christ and who exhibits two natures. I mean, it's pretty basic. I mean, maybe
Right, but would you
could
say it's like one? So here's the thing, right? So like a point, like I've just been looking from an outside perspective. The Orientals, they're a bit more coherent because like there is no verse that says Jesus has two wills, right?
bro, hello. Orientals is not the proper nomenclature. We use Asian American now.
Yeah, you're kidding me. But like, the Greeks, they sort of like I don't know how they get around like some objections. Like if you say like, you know, like they keep coherency because they say like will is proper to person. Also, you know, the Greeks would say that, you know, well, no, will is proper to nature, right? So one God, you know, one nature, one will, you know, Christ, you know, two natures, two wills, right? So they kind of keep coherency like that. But like the problem is like I feel like though they kind of gain more like coherency, and when it's like a bit more like biblically faithful, I think. However, where they lose out is like, if Jesus has one will and his will is the Father's will, then in Gethsemane, is he setting his own will in opposition to his own will? Not my will, but yours?
Seems like a strange take.
I mean, like it's, and they'll say like it's some theandric, like composite, yada, 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 but then you kind of get into that and then they start kind of sliding. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, depending on the position you had, I would have loved to have sent you a few arguments that I have. But like, I mean, if you don't really know which position you hold to, then I'm not really gonna
When it
force
comes to
you.
when it comes to the hypostatic union and the wills, I mean, it seems like I just want to say there's these two. There's the person of Christ and who has this truly human nature, while there's a truly divine nature, and even someone like yourself might posit that this is some sort of agency, and someone like myself would hold it to a pre-existence. I know Gumbo argues for a preeminence. Now, where these two things start to get the waters muddy, I'm gonna borrow from your own words and say, what is the most faithful to the scriptures? I think that's a safe place.
Yeah, so I would say that scripture only like possesses Jesus as having one will. I don't think there's any verse that says Jesus has two wills, right? But then if you're going to say Jesus has one will, but his will is the same as the Father's will, then in Gethsemane, when Jesus says, not my will, but yours, but Jesus' will is the Father's, then is he setting his own will in opposition to his own will?
Yeah, I
Like
wouldn't.
you have problems like that. You
Yeah, I
see what I'm saying?
wouldn't.
So the two wills kind of gives you a mechanism to kind of, slip and slide. And I don't really see how one nature can coherently be uncreated and created. Like, they have problems like this.
Well, Halal, there's a problem. You said two wheels is the mechanism, but wheels aren't going to roll on their own. They need a motor.
Exactly. And so and I agree. I would say, and I agree with you. So this is where the Greeks,
Two
would
wheels.
kind of
Two wheels. Wheels.
Yeah.
They go round.
Yeah, but like
No, it's Halal, dude.
Eastern
Come on, bro.
the Easterns would say that, operations flow from nature, will is proper to nature. But like you said, like a person has to exercise that will, otherwise it's not genuine self-governance.
Yeah, it seems like this is what's often been represented as some sort of submission is kind of packed into the assumption that there's this conforming to, and by that conforming to, there's already a submission involved. But the obedience of one side of the interpersonal consistency of this relationship between the Father and the Son doesn't necessarily follow that there's obedience equivocates to submission in that regard.
Well, like the verse in Gethsemane, there is a will being set in opposition to the Father's. So I would say that Jesus has a human will, and he is humbly submitting his will to the Father. They would say the same thing, just qua humanity, right? Or like
who's they?
I mean, if we're going by they would both say it in some respect. They would just have different metaphysical, like, apparatus for it. But sure, they would both say it. But the problem is like,
who is both? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I mean, I would say it's more like the Greeks, but
you mean like church fathers
but
or
like,
something?
no, I just mean like the Eastern Church when I say that.
Oh yeah, I don't know much about the Eastern Church other than they are aesthetically pleasing. I do appreciate the black robes.
Dude, are you like messing with me right now? I feel like you're trolling me.
Why would I troll you?
I don't know, like how do you sit there and defend like the Trinity all day and like you don't have a position? Like,
well, no, what you're talking about
just
though, I've already cashed out my position on it. I don't think that by being obedient in an interpersonal relationship with what we believe is the Trinity, and there's the Father subsisting in the nature as the Father existing in the relationship with the Son existing in the relationship with the Spirit, and so on and so forth, as it goes into some sort of interpenetration and mutual indwelling. I don't think that there's a submission there. I just think that there's an obedience within the economy of this self-sufficient model.
Sure.
Now,
I'm just,
whatever the
I'm just,
Greeks say, I
I'm
mean,
just, I'm just, well, they would say that Jesus is submitting his will to the Father,
hmm.
but Jesus in his divinity has the same will as the Father. So they would just essentially read this verse in similar manner to me, except it's Jesus in his humanity,
Yeah,
essentially.
and I actually think that that verse is not asking for the cup to be removed, but I think he's speaking specifically to a this circumstance that he can be even allowed to go to the cross, but let your will be done. In other words, is this to happen here or is this to happen there? You know, the way
But there is some will being set in contrast to the Father's.
some without
Not my will, but yours.
Mhm.
Some will is not being done, and some will is being done.
Yeah,
Can we agree to that?
sure. And when we talk about this, we're talking
Okay.
about, are we talking about the cup or the cross here?
No, I'm just talking about the will.
Yeah.
Tell Courtney to grow
Just the
some
verse, like when it
chutzpah
says,
and
"Not my will, but yours." Like
Hmm.
there is some will that is not being done, and there is some will that is being done. Like,
Hmm.
can we agree on that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
suppose. Seems
So
like we're
would
getting
you
into a problem
say?
of indexicals at that point.
So would you say
But
then?
why would it? Wait a
This
minute.
is why
Wait a minute. Hold
this is
on.
why I need you
Let me
to
get
take a
back.
position, though,
Wait a minute. Let me go
Constantine.
back. Let me backtrack a little bit. Why would there be two separate wills?
I'm not saying that there should be or there shouldn't be. I'm just saying that this is what this one believes and that's what the other one believes. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
Oh,
What
you're
do you
talking about
believe?
what the Greeks believe, right?
No,
Right.
no. I'm asking you. What do you believe?
Yeah, I don't. I believe that there's a. I don't think it's a categorically distinct will, but there's an obedience in the interpersonal relationship and the interpenetration and mutual indwelling.
So do you believe that it's like one synergized will?
Synergized will.
Yeah, like essentially, like either like if you see like the fathers, they write something to the extent of like, you know, Christ wills,
Halal,
all that is proper in his humanity,
the problem,
conforming to his divine nature, essentially, or conforming to his divine will. Like, there's some sort of a conformity, but from his human will to his divine will,
yeah,
something to that extent. I'm
yeah,
paraphrasing, obviously.
yeah, it's a good paraphrase. So the problem here is I have one advantages and one disadvantage. The first
Just take a
advantage,
position, Constantine. Why are you being so difficult?
oh, well, you should listen to my exes, bro.
Do you believe that he's got two wills, or do you think he's got one composite will? It's very simple.
Yeah, I think he
Which
shares
position do you take?
yeah, I think he shares a will with the father. But I wouldn't conflate there to be two separate wills and in some sort of odd indexical thing that's going on, right? Because we have to also understand that all I'm seeing in this text right here, instead of adding a lot of additional metaphysical baggage to it, is that there's not a submission, but there's an obedience. And I'm okay with being faithful to the text in that context.
So what you're saying is that he's got two natures, but you don't know, or you don't have.
How did you get that out of what did I say? And by the
You
way,
said that he has two natures in the
and by the way,
beginning.
and just so we can wrap this up, the kind of goes against the prompt, but I'm humoring you here, so we're going to allow this to continue. But
Oh, I'm sorry. I can leave if you want. I don't mean to.
no, I mean,
I just wanted to quickly ask, like, what position you took if you were interested.
yeah, the position that I would take would be faithful to Scripture, and let me just explain why I say that. When you say, "I wish you'd make up your mind, take a position," you sound like every ex I've ever dated. All right, so you can't complain because if you did, you'd have to get into a long line of people who complain about my indecision. That's just part of my character. Number two. Sorry about my character flaws. God's still working on me. I will try to take a better position on this next time. So second thing, I believe it's okay by staying with the character that there's a shared will in the sense that there's an obedience and within the interpenetration and mutually indwelling within this relationship that is tri-personal. There is no such thing as saying that there's a submission in that context. I don't believe the text specifically mandates that. And number three, this is a problem for me, and I'm going to gain I'm not going to gain many fans with this, but I have an advantage and a disadvantage of being Protestant. The first advantage is that I can pick and choose which church fathers, like a truth buffet, The disadvantage is that I have to pick and choose which church fathers support me conveniently, like a truth buffet.
Right.
Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is that, okay, so let me just ask you then. So when Jesus says not my will, is that will there the human will, the divine will, or both?
I'm not sure. Why would I take a position on that when I've already explained it? There's no
Well, if
separate
it's the
will.
divine
This has been kind
will,
of this
then
has been kind of
is
asked and
Jesus setting,
this has been asked and
well,
answered, right?
no,
Well,
no.
it's
All
sort of a
he's
No,
false
it
saying is that
it's a
hasn't.
false
when all
dilemma.
he's
It's a
saying
false
is,
dilemma.
I'm so sorry, Prod. Go ahead. I'm so
How is
sorry.
that a false dilemma? I'm saying the will that is being said there, not my will. There is some, he agreed, you agreed, host, that there is some will being set in opposition to the Father's will. Not my will, but yours.
Within a language model, but I don't
Okay.
believe that there are separate wills going on. There could
The
be a
problem
shared
is
Okay, so
will.
you don't,
the reason
so you
why it's
don't
a false
actually believe what the text says?
That's not no.
Is
That's
there
He's
some,
I've
I
saying,
mean,
explained why I'm okay with the
you
text.
already agreed that there is some will that is being set in contrast to the Father's will.
I think
This will isn't being done,
Oh my
and this will
gosh.
is being done. So is that
so
the will of the humanity, the divinity, or both?
it seems like all the host is saying is that when he reads the text, he's not going to import any metaphysical baggage
Right.
between some sort of metaphysical interpretation that he's going to take on the nature of the distinction between the volitions of Christ and the Father. All he wants to do is just say, hey, look, this verse is just eliciting the idea that Christ completely obeys the Father.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he's saying.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not that hard.
Is that okay, Halal?
Is the
I
Bible
mean, if
okay?
that's what you're saying, then you're gonna have a problem, because are you saying that Jesus ceased to have a divine will
Why would I say that?
and only had a human? Oh, okay. So then, if Jesus had a divine will, then is that the divine will there being exercised?
But did you just hear what Veritas said and that I said?
Yeah, essentially, Veritas just said that, hey, look, I'm not gonna take a position because I just want to stick to the scriptures. Like that's basically what he said. But
He
it's
did
like
take a
you kind
position.
of, but like the verse itself, if you're going to hold to, you know, Jesus being God and man and having the nature of both God and man, then there is going to be some kind of a metaphysical apparatus that you're going to have to employ, because otherwise, if that is the divine will, then Jesus is setting the Father's will, which is his own will, opposed to himself. If that's the human will, then are you saying that Jesus ceased to have a divine will?
Yeah.
If it's both wills, then he is simultaneously submitting and not submitting. It's like it's almost, it's like saying basically not my will be done, but my will be done, because the will that is the Father's equals the will of Jesus. Because remember, one divine mind, one divine will, one God, one nature. Right, great. So it's like there has to be some sort of a metaphysical apparatus that you have to employ in order to be able to defend that verse as a Trinitarian.
Okay.
So what is it?
Okay. Well, so what you're saying is like I'm forced in this position to apply some sort of metaphysical baggage to the text, when really all it's elucidating on is the interpersonal communication of the mutual indwelling that we can see throughout perichoresis, and that there's no real like submission, but there is absolutely some obedience. And so I think Jesus' prayer in Gethsemane, not my will, but yours be will, proves that he has a will that it creates some sort of you think is distinct, and
Which
therefore
will
creates
is that? Is that the
hold on,
human will, the
hold on.
divine will, or both wills? Like, it's a very simple question.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, right? Well, the objection kind of supports the Orthodox Christology rather than refuting it, from what I can understand. Where the Christian,
Okay, so
hold on, because of the Christian doctrine of the hypostasis union, right, which is defined at Chalcedon, would affirm Jesus is one person in hypostasis with two complete natures. So they're fully divine, or truly divine and truly human, united without confusion, change, or division, or separation. But from that, dialethicism, or this, if you're going to take that position, each nature has its own will, if I was Eastern, and that divine will is one that's shared, let's say, among three persons of the Trinity, and so the Son's divine will is identical to the Father's. And so, in this instance, the Son's divine will is identical to the Father's. the human will belongs to Christ and is assumed in humanity. And if we understand Gethsemane at Matthew chapter, I think it's 26 or whatever, and we can see a real human will of Jesus naturally, I'd say, recoiling from the horror bearing of the cup that he's holding at that moment, but not as I will while in perfect submission. It aligns with the divine will, but as you will. And so I don't think this is a conflict or a dichotomy. I think it's just the display of the true humanity of the sympathetic to the high priest, and which is also elucidated in Hebrews, that's united with undiminished deity. So I don't have a problem.
Yeah, so if you're taking the position that Jesus has two wills and there he is exercising
take that
his
position.
human will, but he is. You just said that, but you're saying that he's still in alignment with his divine will by, but your will be done simultaneously. That would be his own will. Then
we don't have to accept this,
if the
right?
person of Jesus, then you're saying, has a divine will and a human will, does the divine will and the human will exist as one composite will or as two distinct wills?
1 second, Prod, what did you say?
Proper to each
Yeah,
nature.
so we don't have to answer this question because you've already brought two metaphysical questions up. You keep asking about the human will and the divine will. We don't have to answer this question.
haven't. Okay, so like host answered
You
that
already-
the will
I know, but
in
you're
when he
already
says not
presupposing-
mine.
You're presupposing that these are both coherent options. We don't have to answer this question.
I never. What? I literally all I asked was the when he says not
this
my
is a-
will.
it's
Is
a-
that
it's a
will
false
his human
trilemma.
will, his
It's a
divine
false
will, and he
trilemma.
says
We
it's
don't
his human will, and you
We
already
don't have
answered
to.
and
We
says
don't have
Christ.
to. You're forcing a trilemma. You're just asking question: human will, divine will, or both. We don't have to answer this question. The univocal
Okay,
meaning.
so
we don't have to
so
accept
then what
this.
will is it?
This
So
isn't
then what will is it? So then what will is it?
like I just said. Okay,
The
you
frog's
have
will,
to-
the cow's
the bird-
will, the dog's
okay,
will.
so
What
you're gonna cut me
will?
off. So your burden is to show
Like what?
you don't accept the same univocal meaning. Okay, through every single distinction in Christ.
I'm asking you. You tell me.
What do you mean? I tell you. I don't have.
What
to
is
answer
the will
question.
proper to? The humanity, the divinity, both, or the person?
Like I just said, I don't have to
Like,
answer. this
it's a
question.
really one of the four, right? That it can't be anything else.
Okay. I don't
If
think
is
you
it is
under- I
it the
don't think
human
you-
will being
I don't think you
exercised, the
understand. Your
divine will being
dilemma- your
exercised,
dilemma
or
is
both
already-
will?
Your dilemma
Okay, so if
already
it's a false
assumes-
trilemma, can you tell me a
No,
fourth
wait.
option?
Your dilemma already assumes that there's a distinction that entails a division. That doesn't follow, right? Because a real distinction
I
between
haven't
modes of
assumed
operation
anything.
does not
I'm
generate two
one of the
subjects.
options is literally both wills.
Okay, so your thing destroys under
Like what?
You can't even pretend that you're not sticking to scripture or to anything like that. You do understand that, right? We don't have to answer this question. We don't have to answer the human will, divine will, or both.
Okay, so then you can't tell me what will it is.
Okay, so what is will? What is a human will? What is the divine will?
Yeah, will is just gonna be exercising the faculty of willing, essentially, like to do something, to want to take some action.
Okay,
Essentially.
now is this a universal definition? Is it or just like a univocal definition that you're using?
At least pertaining to the subject matter, I'd say it's univocal, at least in the sense that I'm using it right now, pertaining to the subject matter.
Okay, so before we even build an argument from the definition, I need some precision. Is that so? You said that definition is univocal.
Yeah, pertaining to the subject matter at hand.
Okay, so
in
you
the sense in
define
which we're
will as a
describing it.
faculty of willing. That's obviously circular because you've defined will by
Yeah,
using
and
the
I
verb to
said, and
will.
then I
That's
expanded
obviously-
on that, you
that's a-
moron.
listen, I
Like,
want-
what
yeah,
are
well, I
you
wanna-
doing? You need to
Well,
say
obviously,
post
I
right
want a
now. It's bad.
non-circular account. Right? Because is will a
No,
natural
I
power?
never even came up here to get you guys all antsy. I literally just came here to ask an honest question. It wasn't even to trap you. It was just to say, like, you already you verbalized that Christ had a divine will, and you verbalized that Christ had a human will. Okay, so I'm just asking you, and it's just
Wait a minute.
fair for me
Wait,
to
hold
just
on, hold on.
understand your position.
Are
Because
you-
unless I understand
Are
your
you
position, I
talking
can't
to me or-
critique your
you-
position.
You're talking to me or Prod, bro?
No, I'm talking to you, host. Like it was
wait a
first
minute.
him, now you, right?
Wait, hold on a
So,
second.
like-
Hold on, just real quick. It's okay. Hold on. Me and you engaged for a while, but Prod put a burden on you. Seems like you want to usurp that right now. What's going on?
No, there is no burden because all I came here was to understand your position, and you're just saying
Listen,
nah.
okay. This is
Like
the
you're just
problem.
saying nah
This is-
in like more
Hold on,
colorful
I
ways.
want to explain something
Like
for,
what?
for your future. Let me give you a tip real quick, okay? Whenever you engage in a conversation, okay, people don't have to accept these burdens, okay? Constantine doesn't have
There
to
was no-
accept this framing as though it's the only two options that are independent wills or blended
Okay.
opposite wills, right? That's obviously that's
Okay,
a
so
false
then
dilemma.
if you're saying, are
That's
you
a
saying
false
that it's a
dilemma. He
false?
doesn't have to
Are you
accept that.
saying? First of all, it was a trilemma, and it wasn't even that. It was just a
Okay.
multiple
Well,
choice
okay,
question.
but
It wasn't
no,
even a
it was
dilemma.
no, it was
I
a
never even
trilemma.
said if
It
you
was
say
a,
this, you're
it was
refuted.
a,
If you
it
say
was
this,
a, no,
did I give
listen,
an argument?
listen,
How
this is how
is it
you're
a dilemma
tracking.
if I
It
never
wasn't
gave an
it was a
argument?
Can
trilemma
you guys
before,
stop
but
bickering?
before everything
Jesus
else,
Christ.
it was a dilemma, and then it became a trilemma because you asked another question. You said or both.
Okay, so did I give an argument or did I just ask a multiple choice question?
Okay, yeah, you're asking him questions, but guess what? It doesn't
Okay,
matter
yeah, so
because he
that's not
doesn't
a
have to
dilemma
answer
then,
these
or
questions.
trilemma,
He's
you
not bidding.
moron.
He
So
doesn't
thank
have
you for
to.
just
This
letting
isn't a
everyone
burden
know
on
that you don't know what a dilemma or a
This
trilemma is.
isn't.
Thank you.
Okay, so obviously I do know what a dilemma and a trilemma is.
So please, can you just answer the? So look, if you don't want to answer, you say, okay, it's none of these. Then what is it? You tell me. I'm not here to fight you. I'm not here to like go gung ho on you. I'm genuinely just asking about your position.
Yeah,
Okay, so
when
Well,
you
we
say,
don't.
I
It's
think
not
the bigger
okay.
fish
Here.
part
Like
isn't
this
everyone.
will.
Hey,
It's not gonna be a pal's will.
guys.
Like
Hold on. Let me bring up
like
someone.
what?
I'm gonna bring up someone so you're not getting piled up on, right? Okay, so now we got Veritas, Prod, me, and you've got Gumbo. Okay, you good there?
Yo, Matthias, I was literally just.
We wouldn't.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
literally.
So halal. I'll answer your question. So we wouldn't say it's two independent wills, and we wouldn't say it's one confused composite will. We would say it's one incarnate person that is generally willing to that's generally willing operating according to his complete divinity and his complete humanity.
That was absolute gibberish.
Okay, so that's both then.
Matthews, how's that going to be gibberish? And what is going to be your account of gibberish?
Yeah, my name is Matthias, and gibberish is just like any
Well, Matt, I'm going to
sentence
take the
that
first two
produces
letters of
no
your name,
meaning
which is going to be Matt.
whatsoever.
Well, that's
Okay,
not
you
going to be
can
an
say
accurate.
whatever you
doesn't-
want. I
That's
was
not going
just
to be an accurate
correcting
take of
you.
gibberish. And for something to be
Yeah,
gibberish,
gibberish. I
for
just
something
told
to be
you what
gibberish,
my
it would have
account
to
of
bear.
gibberish
No,
was.
no,
So
no. It doesn't
yeah,
matter because guess what? Your definition isn't adequate enough to satisfy that condition.
Wait, I don't wait. Who makes you the arbiter of what satisfies
Okay,
a
well,
condition?
obviously, I'm gonna
Given
hold on. I
we
don't
haven't
have to
even
leave.
established any conditions yet
I don't
for
have to be an
the
arbiter.
term. So
I don't have to be an
analytically,
Prod,
bro, this
I,
is so
as I
bad.
understand
Like, what is
it.
this panic right now?
Hold on, Prod. I just looked at your profile. It says you're Oriental, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And now, halal, I
Okay,
told
so
you
that
about
you hold that Christ has one.
halal. I told you about that. The proper nomenclature is Asian American.
All right, look. So you say, Prod, that it's one composite will, correct?
Yeah, but do you want me to? Yeah.
Okay, no problem. See see, I wasn't trying to straw man you. I was just trying to learn your position. I'm just asking the same thing for host. Like
Yeah.
host acknowledges that Christ has a divine will by virtue of being a divine person. Christ, the host also recognizes that in virtue of the incarnation, Jesus is going to have a genuine human will. So I'm just asking you, how does those two wills exist within the one person of Christ? Is it one composite will, like the like Prod, or is it something more like Bryce or like Nick or whatever, where they say it's two wills, pertaining to each nature? I mean, it's a really like fair question. Like, or if you have any third option, I'm more than happy to hear that. Like, I'm not saying you have to adhere to this one or that one. Like, if you have some third thing that you hold to, like, by all means. Like, I'm not trying
Yeah,
to trap
so
you at all. I'm genuinely asking.
so all the host has been saying, right? He's been saying this from the beginning, okay? Is that the verse that you brought up to elicit the question, he is not going to import any metaphysical baggage into the verse. All he interprets the verse as saying is Jesus Christ expressing his supreme obedience to the Father's relation and intention towards a specific end, which we commonly call a will. That's all he's saying.
It's
Now,
not what
when
she
you
asked
went
for.
into, can I finish? I'm not speaking. When you went into the enumeration of the will, you keep saying that's not what you asked, but that's how he answered. He said he's not going to import metaphysical baggage, and he even made a joke about it by saying something like, one thing about being Protestant is that you can take
You can
from
pick a
pool,
mix. I get it.
yeah, a
Okay.
truth buffet. Exactly. So it's either you're not being charitable or you're not listening to him.
That wasn't what
No,
she was asking for, though.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
issue
we've
though
already
is
yeah,
he's
addressed that.
I'm just
answered.
asking. Like,
The issue is
host recognizes that Jesus has two wills. I think it's only fair that I ask host, How? Because here's the thing, right? The Bible doesn't say Jesus has two wills. The Bible doesn't talk about no ish explicitly, at least, about the hypostatic union. Okay, the Bible doesn't say, you know, a lot of the metaphysical apparatus that you use to defend the Trinity. Okay. And that's okay, that's fine. But when you guys open Pandora's box and you guys say that the Trinity is logical, or that the Trinity is
I mean,
coherent,
I can
or
tell
that,
you
you know,
my
or that the
position if
Trinity is
you're ready.
true, or that the hypostatic union is true, or that there's no contradiction within, you know, that we don't have two Jesuses, we don't have three gods. It's only fair that if someone is
Yeah, I
actually
don't know
being
why
genuine, they're
you're
gonna
really.
come up and they're gonna say, okay, since you are the one that's opening Pandora's box, okay, then it's only fitting that you guys actually tell us what the hell it is that this means. Like, that's a fair
I
question.
have a position on what that means. I'm just telling you what host. Yeah, Courtney, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, I feel like he's already gave you an answer, and his answer, I think, was sufficient. He doesn't really get into the deep
Okay.
metaphysics. So either
Okay, so
like
essentially,
that's
Christ has
just
a
like
human will, Christ has a divine will, but I don't know how Jesus has two wills and is one person. Why is he not two persons then?
Well, that's a separate
no, I
question.
think
You're asking in
Like,
reference to the Garden of Gethsemane, right?
no, I'm just saying that was just an example that I used, but I'm just saying, like,
it's
okay,
like the
well,
strongest
if
example
like
that most
why
people use to come against the idea
like
of two wills or
here's the
one.
thing, here's the thing, like, if you're saying this, okay, and you know, I think Constantine, like, and I'm saying this in good faith, I think you should kind of go and you should hash out like some of your positions, because like what you're essentially just saying is like, hey, Jesus is God, he's got two natures, truly God, truly man, fully God, fully man, the natures are unconfused, not divided, da, da, ba, da, ba, da. And then you're not actually telling us how that apparatus works.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's
I can tell
interesting.
you how it works and run an argument if you want, but that's going to be pretty deep and metaphysical, man. Do you want to do that?
Says the guy who just said he doesn't want to take a oh my goodness.
Well, right now with that passage, but if we're going to talk about the Trinity, that's going to be a separate argument. We're talking about the hypostatic union. We're talking about the incarnation. You gave me a biblical
Okay, but
passage,
how can I begin to
and then I
critique?
gave
How
you,
can I
and
begin?
then I gave you, right, and then I gave you the interpretation of the passage, and I didn't want to sneak in any impersonal, additional metaphysical baggage to it. I even gave you some alternative views. I really don't know where we're at this point. In fact,
I mean,
Prod was engaging with you, and then you didn't want to do that. So I don't know where we go from here.
all of you are idolaters, man. She is idolater, you are. So what's the difference?
Okay, thanks, Abu.
Your mom's an idolater.
There we
How
go.
about that?
So that's where we
So
be.
I think that what was trying to be established was, you know, what exactly is Constantine's belief on, I guess, the incarnation, and then after you gave like your account of what it is that you believe and you hold to, she was just asking about Gethsemane and like how you interpret that, given that you believe that there's one will.
No, it's not. It's not even. No. That's not even that. I'm saying that you've already posited Jesus has a divine will. You've already posited Jesus has a human will. Okay, I'm the heretic for not believing Jesus has two natures, fully God, fully man. Okay, so Constantine, you're right. Great. Okay, granted. So then, okay, explain to me how that works.
Where did the heretic?
I mean, how are you gonna say, "Hey guys,
Where
believe
did
what
he
I
ever call
believe"?
you a heretic?
I'm
What are you
correct.
doing?
Stop dropping
y'all
your
are,
trauma on the
Dude,
host,
like,
bro.
I'm okay,
Bro,
dude.
what
I'm
is
not
going
like
on?
saying
Never
like
called you that.
you guys know what I mean, and you guys are
Yo,
just
hello,
trying
I'm
to
gonna be
like
honest.
push
So you want a
semantics. You know what I
Percocet?
just
mean?
carry on.
Or you want a
You guys
Percocet?
know what I'm
Go ahead.
saying.
Go
So
ahead.
like,
Y'all
it's
can,
only fair
let
that
her
you
speak.
just tell me how does that work, or otherwise you can't say to people, hey, look, I'm gonna defend the Trinity every day or however long you go live, whenever you go, and then like I'm gonna defend the hypostatic union, or I'm not an historian, I ain't got two Jesuses, but then refuse to answer the most basic questions as to how the two wills, you know, exist in Christ. Like, I think, like, I mean, if you just don't have an answer, that's okay. Like, I mean, at this
I have
point,
a
it's just an
question. Hello.
Well,
I have a question.
the problem is that when you asked it, I answered it, and you just didn't like the answer, and then Prod gave you a supplementary answer. You didn't like that one either. But listen, if it's the position that the triune God is a concrete universal and the self-sufficient, exhaustively personal reality in which what is unified and what is plural are equally ultimate without reduction or confusion, then the Trinitarian structure serves as the archetype for how the Christian doctrine, particularly the incarnation, must be understood, right?
Okay, so how would that map onto the hypostatic union?
Okay, right. Well, what I would argue for in that case is that this isn't merely a doctrine among others, but is the foundational reality of what is coherent within the essence and can subsist within the three distinct persons without division or confusion. So when it maps onto the incarnation, this is just a manifestation of said decree. Does that make sense? So the creator, and there's a
Okay,
creature
so
distinction
are
is
you then
fundamental and asymmetrical.
holding to Chalcedon?
Why would I need to hold a Chalcedon? I'm Protestant. I
I
barely even
mean,
know
you're
anything about it.
quoting what they're saying, but okay.
Well, that's cool. I mean, but like I said, you're talking to a
That
I'm
goes
gonna
Protestant.
back
quote
to that being
Chalcedon,
able
but
Yeah,
then
to
not
you're
okay.
talking
like
to a Baptist. What do I care about Chalcedon? You know what I
Chalcedonian.
mean?
Like, okay, all right, GG's.
All right. I don't really care about Chalcedon. If that's what they said at Chalcedon, GG's for Chalcedon. Yeah, but I'm like
Yo,
I said,
so
I don't really hold to a lot of the patristics. Like I said, it's a truth buffet. So we good or?
I mean, can I address something that Prod said?
And the prompt? Or you can address something that Prod said? Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Prod, you just for clarification, you're OO, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. Do you want to talk about the one composite nature of Christ and consisting of one will?
We can talk about the metaphysics behind it, but I don't read church fathers.
Are we going to get
Yeah,
into
I
metaphysics?
mean,
I guess we can do that, but that can be posited from the Trinity. And if Halal wants to get into metaphysics, or I mean, we can progress the conversation there. But let me just be clear. When this was just in virtue of the text within Matthew 26, I'm simply stating I don't need to import all the baggage and sort of adopt this, crazy view as far as how it's in virtue of that text. Now, if we do want to shift or segue into a metaphysical conversation about how I feel the Trinity best comports to the states and affairs of reality, well, then that would be a separate conversation. Does that make sense?
yeah, sure. I mean,
Go ahead.
I
So
think that,
that's fine.
yeah, I don't think that anybody was asking you to import metaphysics into Gethsemane. I think that we were just asking for some kind of like constitutive explanation of Gethsemane.
which I rendered that in the context of submission and
No,
obedience, and I think that's
more like the
fine.
hypostatic union and how the two will subsist within the one person. But
So
okay,
basically metaphysics. Okay.
So basically,
Yeah,
metaphysics.
it's a
Got it.
metaphysics.
Right.
okay, so
I
you're
don't think that
going
that
there
was being
saying,
denied.
hey, yeah, and then you basically said, nah,
I said no.
more or less. It was just nah in colorful words.
Oh, okay. So nuh-uh, but there were more words and nuance, and so we're going to tack it on as colorful words. Halal, please come on. Let's be more charitable than that. Anyway, we can continue. If Matthias has a question for Prod, Halal, you're more than welcome to stay. Matthias, you as well, and we can segue the conversation outside of Matthew 26 and talk about metaphysics if that's what should concern. And I just want to make notice, though, none of this is going to keep me from being a Christian, so I guess we're okay to proceed. I'm just going to I'm just going to leave prompts out of this, man.
Yeah. No one ever freaking reads them anyway, you know what I'm
No one
saying?
ever reads the prompt.
God, you losers all came in here and messed
Yeah.
it all up.
Yeah. All right.
Always coming in, moving the furniture.
Yeah. Are we good to continue?
He said 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
You can go ahead and ask your question. What's up?
Yeah, so are you holding to one will in Christ?
Could you explain what you mean by one will?
Yeah, I just take the Frankfurtian sense of will, so you tell me what you mean by will.
So the definition I would take by will, I would just take from probably the church, but I could just take almost a similar account, but not really the same account. I don't mean like an isolated psychological impulse.
Yeah, that was really, really informative. Anyways, point proven, guys. God bless everyone.
Thanks for coming up.
I'm not really sure what the
Wait,
point was.
I'm not sure what
Was
happened.
there?
Either.
Yeah, I don't
Was
know.
there?
I don't know how you proved your points. Like what?
No, I didn't get it either.
I don't really know. That was funny though.
Wow. Unitarians won that, guys. Yay, GG's. What the hell?
Yeah. So now I should stop being a Christian.
Yeah, for real.
Now, the entire, I guess, knowing that both of those individuals live to only speak about no Trinity, it's pretty much the only subject they both speak about. So I think the point was to just come up here and see what you thought about it, challenge your position, and then when she realized that you don't really care to take a position on the passage that she kept referencing, then I
Well, I
think
mean,
she
I exegeted the
felt like it.
passage and that it wasn't submission
No, I
Yeah.
versus
mean
obedience.
engage with her.
I think that's just fine, right?
Yeah.
How we're
No,
going to
I
unpack
think
will would be a separate conversation.
yeah, which is I think what she wanted you to do. Which is I guess the point. She said she wanted to send you something. I heard before I came up.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to bring up one more guest, and I got Braden Philosophy with me. Yo, are you two going to convince me to not be Christians or what?
Make a relatively good attempt.
All right, Braden, what do you got?
Okay. First, some preliminaries. Do you think God is like a perfectly good communicator?
Yeah, perfectly good communicator.
So every single idea he communicates is going to be, it's going to be, how do I word this? Like it'll be perfectly interpretable. Like,
Why would that?
there's no.
By a mind?
Okay,
Like
I'll explain why. If I'm communicating an idea to you, and I am perfect, which means that the idea I'm communicating, I'm doing it in the most efficacious and perfected way. I think it follows that you will understand, given the way that ideas are communicated. And it
does
seems
it?
like, yeah, it
It
seems
follows?
like, yeah, I think it follows that a
Based on what
perfectly good
answer?
communicator, yeah, based on, do you want a formalized argument or do you just want me to tell you why I
No,
think it
you could
follows?
you don't have to formalize it just based on an inference, because
Okay, I'll
remember,
give you,
even if
yeah.
hold on one second, like even if the reason why I'm asking is for clarification. Yeah, because even if let's say deity is like a perfect communicator, and he's communicating or it's communicating like almost unfathomable things to the human mind, which could have free will to decide and will whatever they choose, and with their experiential knowledge and things like that. Do you think it is always possible 100% of the time for it never to miss?
Yeah, because that's the whole point of being a perfect communicator, right? You'd say,
Mhm.
we would say, when we say perfect, we mean no greater being or no greater version of this can be conceptualized. So imagine, I'll give you a bad way of communication. Imagine I'm talking to Constantine and I'm like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "What's up?" And he asked me how my day was. And instead of like telling Constantine directly, right, saying, "Hey,
Mhm.
here's what happened," like I went to the fair or something, what I instead do is we'll say, "Hey, look, well, get it from Courtney, who got it from Plasma, who got it from Jerry, and then you'll know what I did for the day." Now, we would say that this is a really kind of wacky way of communicating. Like
Who
you'd
is he
say that
perfectly communicating to,
Hold on.
Braden?
Wait,
the children of it, like the
but I have
Israelites,
a
or like
but I have a
whoever he
No,
question.
wants to
I
I'm
have a
communicate, really, right?
I'm sorry, Courtney. Go ahead.
I indeed have another question. Number one, it sounds like your idea of a perfect communicator has baked in premises that I didn't accept, and I don't think Constantine has accepted.
Yeah,
Number
that's why I was
two,
asking. That's
yeah,
why
but
I
that's
asked
why
you.
right, but that's why I kind of I sniffed it out, and I was like, maybe we should hang out here for a minute because
Mhm.
I don't think it necessitates, and you said it kind of does. So I'm wondering what is baked in other than it just in your mind, it just is, it ought to be. Therefore, it necessitates that a perfect, no greatest could not be conceived in the mind of a human, right? Because we're humans,
Yeah.
of a deity that would be a perfect communicator equals
Hmm.
that all humans, it necessitates, sorry, that all humans will understand whatever the deity says. I don't think that
Yeah.
follows.
Okay. When I take an idea to be or when I take an idea to be like communicatable, I guess, or whatever, I'm able to be communicated. I take it to be that it's through the conduit, right? The person, whoever's communicating the idea, is the conduit through which the understanding comes, right? So, and what does that mean? Well, when I'm telling you, look, the way that an electron works is blah, blah, blah. If I am a bad communicator, you won't grasp the concept. But if I am omniscient, I know all of the relevant data about the concept, all of the relevant data about the idea, all of the relevant data about all of these things. I'm able to perfectly communicate to you this idea. And if I'm a perfect communicator, which means there's no flaw in my speech, I can't lie, I feel, right, that it follows that you will understand the idea. Otherwise, I have failed as a perfect communicator, because I'm the one that created you to be receptive to the communication. And if I created you in a way to where you are not receptive to the communication, I have failed in creating you to, well, be receptive to the idea. So either one, I'm created imperfect and I can't receive the idea, or two, the communicator isn't perfect and cannot communicate the idea correctly. I feel like there's a disjunct, right? I feel like it's a dichotomy.
Hey,
Either it is this way or that way, right?
Hey, Brayden, I have a question. Do you feel as though you're a good communicator? Like just good, standard of good?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good at communicating ideas
Okay, I
relatively,
understand.
but I'm not perfect.
Okay. No, I understand. I understand. So what if I were to tell you like I don't know what communication means. I don't really even know what it means to like something to be like a necessity, and I don't know any of the words that you just said. Does that mean that you have failed to be a good communicator?
Oh no, and I kind of precogged this because I've been kind of doing a little bit of studying into this. So one, there's a difference between me and you communicating and me being a bad communicator and God, who is, as we've agreed, a perfect communicator. So
We've
this
agreed
would, to me,
perfect,
this
but
would
it
be
doesn't necessitate what we haven't agreed. Yes, I agree.
Perfect communicator to who?
Right.
to
Perfect
the human beings that he created to be perfectly receptive
Yes, hold on. I
of the
agree.
message, right? Okay, cool. So
I
then they would
agree, but
understand the message clearly without any like
Who?
need for anything
Who
hold
would
else,
on.
brother.
understand the
Pause.
message perfectly?
Adam,
Who?
Adam and Eve.
Hold on. Pause. I would say yes to a degree. And the reason why I say to a degree, because I think what you're baking in is the lack thereof of human free will and experiential knowledge. Do you understand?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
I can
So
read,
yeah.
I can read something, right? I can read how to ride a bike. I can read all about it. I can learn like the science and the physics and the wheels and the pedals and the gears and add a little horn,
Yeah.
all of that. But then that doesn't mean that the moment I get on the bike, I'm going to be able to do it. I could learn all about it in a book and
Yeah.
physically have no experiential knowledge, which having experiential knowledge really, I don't know if you know this, but it increases neuroplasticity, which is very, very good for learning and reshapes
Hmm.
the way that we see things. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it is the case that you are, or a deity is a perfect communicator, it doesn't change the fact that the individual on the receiving end still might not understand fully. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think for that reason, I have to reject the first premise, which I think had hidden baked in premises as well.
Well, I don't really like the cards are
Hold on,
okay.
hold
All
on,
right.
Braden. I gotta do a sound effect for a primacy reject.
You're good, man.
Yeah.
Ah! That was pretty funny.
Continue, Brayden.
Yeah.
That's why I like Constantine, because he makes it enjoyable.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Nah, dude, we're all just trying to learn and trying to seek truth, right? Okay. All right. Maybe okay, let's
Oh,
say
look at
okay.
that. That's like perfect for Constantine. Did
Is
you
it
see that?
really?
Epic. Yes.
Yeah.
Do it again. Somebody do that again. That was like
I think there's
beautiful.
something
Go
wrong
ahead.
with. I think there's something wrong with Veritas.
Okay, sorry, Brayden. Sorry, carry on.
Okay, he's back.
Yeah, okay.
Veritas, Brayden
Okay,
has been
cool.
talking to you for the last 15 minutes and rendering an
Oh,
argument.
I
you're
have
talking
not.
to me?
No,
Hey,
I have.
oh,
No,
dude,
I have
Yes,
not.
listen,
Veritas, I can't believe you've been so rude to
you
Brayden.
have been suplexed for the
No.
last 10 minutes.
God,
Don't say that,
long.
man.
Everyone's been
Let's
saying
go.
in the chat, Veritas is stun locked. And
Yo,
I'm
And
like,
full
Veritas.
what
of
are we gonna do?
Veritas
I've been
all the way around
trying to
there.
help you, Veritas.
Yeah.
Braden has been
Yo,
running.
Braden, they're trolling, right?
Braden just ran a 9-premise syllogism.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
It
I
was
don't even.
beautiful.
Veritas,
No, I did not, and
you're
I don't
And
know how to do that.
and
So there's that,
Veritas
right?
just went on teacup.
Bro,
Veritas, do you
how
want
can
to
you do
defend
that?
yourself to all that he said?
I'm pretty sure you're trolling. You're
Yeah,
trolling
I'm
me right now.
trolling. I'm trolling.
Very much
I'm
trolling.
very much trolling.
So what do you think, Brayden?
Okay.
What do you think about my answer? My thoughts on
Okay.
your take?
Right. Like I get. Okay. I get.
Thank you, Joel.
I get that. Right. Like maybe I can like read the book and not fully understand. That's fine. Like what I'm trying to say is as a receptacle of being communicated to whatever. Right. Adam and Eve are perfectly receptive of the message of God. Right. Perfectly. Now God is the perfect communicator, right? So any analogy that we give to like the humans now, well, this to me, maybe I'm wrong, seems like a category error because we are not of the same perfect receptive like qualities that Adam and Eve are, right? We are not that. I am not a perfect communicator, and you are not a perfect like receiver of like words, right, or communication. So to me, it's the premise like is getting rejected off like what I seem to think is like a category error because I'm saying that to Adam and Eve, they're being perfectly communicated to, right? But it seems like,
Can I ask do you know why? It's just like one or two words is the answer that I expect to hear. And I didn't say that like in a mean way. I'm just saying this will tell me whether you understood why I rejected it. Do you know what is the reason that I rejected your statement, the premise?
I mean, it seems like you're saying that like we're not like I really don't know. Like I really don't know
Okay, that's
the
okay. That's
rejection, right?
okay. No,
Maybe
no,
I'm just not tracking here, right?
no, it's totally fine. I promise. You're doing fine. Like it's fine. We're having a great conversation. Free will. That's the basis for the rejection because you I keep hearing you use this word perfect and I don't really know what the word perfect means in your paradigm, right? I can like fathom, right? I can fathom what it might mean, but I don't really truly know what it means. And the reason why I say this is because it could have a lot of baked in premises of things like that I might not just accept full stock. So for those reasons, I say I don't think that any human is a quote perfect receptacle of receiving knowledge. I certainly don't think that's the case. And so for those reasons, and I gave experiential knowledge and other things like that, is why I think that the premise that you gave from the beginning was a little flawed. And I'm going to mute the new guest just because there's some background noise.
Just let him just let him railroad Braden. Thanks for the Caesar thing. Just let him
Yes,
railroad
I
Braden.
love it.
The problem is with Braden is he's a nice guy.
Let me get dunked on.
He needs to get toughened up a little bit by these Muslims. So
What?
listen,
Ah,
hey, Ahmad, as
I
soon as
need
you
to
want,
start being mean.
yeah, start being mean.
Braden, are you an atheist? Braden,
Hello.
hold on to the Muslim guy. I'm sorry. Braden, are you an atheist? Agnostic. Are
Yeah,
you
he
agnostic?
is.
Agnostic. Are you agnostic?
Agnostic.
Oh, he's in the Matrix. Do you know him, Constantine? What is he?
Braden, he's agnostic. And he's really
Okay.
he's really a good faith guy though, and he makes
Yeah.
really funny edits about
Yeah.
TikTok debates. It's really cool.
And the reason why I'm
But he's
asking this is because do you
Ma'am, can
engage
you
with
let me say hi? At least let me say hi. Can I say hi? The guy
Yeah,
tried to introduce me.
yeah.
You can ask, you know.
Oh, I cut.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
yeah.
Say
You
hi.
know, too much
Okay.
talking, you know.
Did you
Give
say
somebody
hi?
else a
Okay.
chance.
Thank you. You said hi. All right. Braden.
I just forget to say something. Fuck.
Yeah,
My
just yeah. Oh, there he
my
goes.
service is so
He was
trash.
gonna do it, Constantine.
My service. I'm gonna like my service is gonna get like profoundly worse in about like
Oh, he's
30
running!
seconds. So
Everybody say he's running!
yeah, I know. I got belted by Courtney.
Oh no!
No, you can give me some
Well,
pause.
Oh no!
This is like relatively new. Like what maybe not the idea, but like the argument I'm thinking of is relatively new, so there's some kinks that haven't been worked out, and that's why I bring it up, is because like
Yeah, no, it's
I want it
good
to be
engagement.
rejected, and so I can refine it, right? But my
Yeah,
service
yeah,
is about
yeah.
to get profoundly bad. So
Okay. Well, hey,
thank
It
you.
was
Braden,
nice talking to you,
come
Braden.
back and
Thanks
see
for
us,
coming up.
Braden. Come back and see us.
Yeah, come
I
back whenever
will.
you can beat up on some Muslims.
Yeah. Craig, what's up, man? You're in the box, homie.
Thank you. I requested a while ago, and I was listening, and I might be out of my league here. I'm not a philosophy guy, and I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the supernatural. So whatever label you want to call
You
me an
don't have
atheist,
to.
that's fine.
You don't have to do philosophy.
Yeah, if you
Uh,
and
No,
here's
I
the deal:
know.
if you don't believe in the God we believe in, we're going to condemn you to hell. I mean, that's the one burden you put on by putting in the
Okay.
request box. So
But I hear the Muslims' hell is like a lot hotter than the Christian hell.
I
It
need an
is.
Which,
Well,
like,
listen, let me tell you a secret, Craig. Here, let me tell you a secret. People like yourself and myself, I'm a double whammy because I'm a messianic. We get the glory of replacing the bad Muslims in their hell, right? Because all the good deeds of us go to them and all their bad deeds go to us. And so we just get to replace them in the fiery place. What you
yeah,
think about that?
interesting.
yeah. What do you
No,
think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that, bro?
that's an interesting take.
Hmm.
With respect to the prompt, if that's where
Yeah,
you're
go
at,
ahead.
I
Oh,
don't.
someone wants to talk about the prompt. Amazing.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, I used to be a Christian, right? And you might have something to say about that. But I think the bottom line is I look for what is true, and I don't think Christianity is true. So that would be
Yeah.
that
So
would be the
What do you think about that, Constantine?
thinking about something in a certain way is like, let's say, a projection of an attitude towards said proposition does not negate its value. I can have a certain prejudice
Hmm.
against 2 + 2 = 4, but
Hmm.
that doesn't reduce it, right? It's not a defeater for the objective truth, in which is 2 + 2 = 4. So
Yeah.
essentially, what's being said here is, I don't think that is true. But we could just take that to be some sort of irrational conclusion based on an attitude or behavior towards said proposition. What we
Yeah,
would,
it could be that
okay.
maybe when you were a kid, you were shown the two that was red, and you really hated the color red, and so you have this irrational hatred towards 2 + 2 = yeah. I mean, but it still is 4, right?
Well, I would say this: the converse to my or the converse, that I don't know if that's the right word. The obverse, the opposite of my
Opposite.
position is the opposite of my position is the same for you. You think it's true, therefore, you have to establish, I think, um, some
Well,
sort of some sort of ground base. Like my position is this: all gods, every god, every proposed by man, only exist in human testimony. Full stop. You can't go anywhere else. The
I have a
Bible's human
question then.
testimony. I know, but I'll just I'll wrap this
Yeah,
up.
no, no. I was just
The
saying I
the
have a question.
Bible the Bible is human testimony, and I don't believe in the supernatural claims that any human has made because they're just unverifiable.
so
That's my
we're back at
Correct.
square one, and then are you not going to believe in anything that's verified?
Well, actually, he does
I,
though, Constantine. He does actually believe in things that. So, Craig.
is there a
Um,
verified supernatural claim that you can show me?
well, Craig,
Well,
I guess what I'm asking you is, let me give you this. It's a very simple question.
Okay.
How do you know a deity does not exist?
Oh, I don't. I just don't
Okay.
believe in the claims of human beings. I just
Okay.
don't.
Now, follow-up question. How do you know that a deity did not inspire the writings that you're calling a human mind, aka the Bible?
Um, here's my statement to that.
Mhm.
Human beings are claiming that they're inspired. I don't believe human beings.
That's a great answer to a question I didn't ask. Okay, let me rephrase
Yeah,
that.
no. But
It's okay.
it clarifies it. It clarifies it. I
Yeah,
don't believe what human beings say. Like if a human being say what I'm
that's fine.
writing is divinely
hmm
inspired, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to demonstrate that
So,
somehow, and they can't.
okay, wonderful.
Well, wait a minute.
Here's the question that I asked.
That's a presupposition that we can't. Why would
It,
you say
it
Oh
such a
yeah,
is.
yeah.
thing?
We
It
have some
is. So I
precepts.
said,
We
so
all have precepts. I get that. Yep.
yeah. So here's the question that I actually asked. I said, how do you know that a deity didn't inspire the Bible, which you say is written by man's mind?
Because I don't believe in human claims
Okay.
about
Did you hear what I just
deities.
said
Okay.
about you? Did you hear what I just said about an attitude towards a proposition and how it's not a defeater for the proposition?
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the 2 plus 2 equals 4
In other,
thing.
in other
Hang on.
words, you're presenting a mental state and providing it as some
Yeah.
sort of assertive claim that's just going to be that needs no further justification or argumentation, right?
No.
I believe. Hold on a second. I believe Veritas is not on this live right now. Now I can believe that, but that doesn't make him disappear off the panel unless he's removed from the panel or should so choose so. So his presence is here. I can verify it. Veritas. Thank you, Veritas. Now Veritas is officially gone.
Well, your
Love
claim
it.
about Veritas has nothing to do with a supernatural claim.
No.
Right? Like the
What
level of
we're saying
evidence
is
is
what we're saying.
beyond
Hold
that.
You're
on,
missing the point.
you're missing the point. What we're doing is we're
Okay.
establishing. What we're doing is we're establishing what an attitude towards a proposition actually does, right? And that's nothing, right? So you say I don't believe in said X, therefore X is not true. Well, that doesn't follow.
Well, let me give you an example. There are people that are alive today that claim they have been abducted by space aliens. My question is, how do you prove them wrong?
You wouldn't otherwise prove them wrong. And that's
No,
the
you
answer.
can't.
Okay,
That's right.
Craig, that's wonderful. That's the answer we're looking to get from you. My question
Right.
was that still has not been answered. How do you, Craig, know that a deity did not inspire the thing in which we call the Bible? How do you know?
All right. Okay. To be fair to your question, the honest answer is I don't know.
Yes, that's right. Now, the
Okay.
third question that I'm going to ask you right now. You're on this panel with us. My time is 4:42. But Craig, how do you know that you're not right now a brain in a vat floating somewhere?
Well, I mean, none of us can solve the hard solipsism problem,
That's
so
a
it's kind of a
that's a
pointless.
claim. Actually, I can argue
We cannot.
otherwise.
We cannot. None of us can solve it.
I understand your. I
I'd love to
understand
hear
your.
it.
You're saying
I'd love
that.
to hear it.
Yeah, I
I'd
understand
love
your.
to hear it.
Yeah, okay, cool. Right. Reality exists in a specific type of way, in which is wholly one, and then distinctly plural. Right. And
I,
both.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I don't know what
There's
that
one
means.
universe, and there's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, we exist. The universe exists.
Okay.
Existence exists.
And,
I got that. Yeah,
and the
that's what I
universe.
think.
Got it.
That's my presupposition. Yeah.
Okay, Craig. Hey, it's okay. Everything's going fine. Take it easy. Let's get back.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Debunked solipsism.
I'm
You're
sorry.
still on solipsism, right? You're saying no one can solve the problem of solipsism. Well, that's
Yeah,
not.
that's what I think.
Okay, right. I know that's what you think. That's not our assert. That's not our claim. Our claim.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Our claim
if you
is that there's an ultimate criteria that dictates possibility and impossibility, right? And without that criteria, right? and without that criteria, it would seem to reason that since there is possibility and impossibility, and within your framework of belief, you have nothing to posit for impossibility and impossibility, but we do. Now the discussion is what's the composition, or what's a composition of what we are positioning as this final ontological substrate of all possibility and impossibility.
I don't understand anything that you're saying, and I
He's
don't
saying,
think.
sorry, go ahead.
I'm not like a philosopher, and
Well, you just brought up a philosophical conversation. And matter of
well,
fact, you
no,
made
no.
a philosophical assertion. You said none of us can solve the problem of solipsism. Well, that's
Hang on.
that's unfortunate because that's going to require substance and argument. Now, if
Do
you
you-
had asked me how I would solve the problem of solipsism, well, then I would say that there is a final, fundamental, and actual, concrete universal in which exists in my paradigm that is fully self-sufficient to not explain but reflect reality as it exhibits itself. right?
Okay,
And so
that's a claim, right?
okay, right now
That's a
you'd
claim.
want me to argue it, Craig, but the problem is when I start arguing that, are you going to be
You
able
won't
to keep
understand.
up?
Well,
I can
here's
try,
the
Craig. I will try and
here,
explain it in layman's terms
can,
as
can,
he's,
can,
if you want. But
mm, I think I can follow, but
okay, go ahead.
here's
Perfect.
this is my my quandary, my the thing that I struggle with. The concept of God, any God, has seems to have been pushed into this weird philosophical corner that only highly educated people on philosophy can really understand.
No, you've never
I
been to
don't
my
think that's the
church.
case.
There's a bunch of
No,
idiots at
no,
mine.
I don't think that's the case.
I'm not finished. That's my statement. When I say that none of us has solved the problem of hard solipsism, you have made a claim that you can do it, and your claim is going to be there is an entity that exists outside of space, time, and
What makes
materialism
you think
that solves
outside of
this
time?
problem.
What makes you think I don't believe in some sort of atemporal or maybe a temporal agent?
And I don't even think
I don't
that
know. You
solipsism
know
in
what?
and
You're
of
right.
itself can be shown. What I mean by that is to say, how do you even know that one's mind is the only mind that can know that it exists? How do you even know that?
Yeah, that's weird. You just kind of assumed that I
No,
took temporal or non-temporal
you know
positions.
what? You're right. I did make some assumptions. I apologize
It's
about
okay,
that.
man. You're
I
good.
shouldn't. I should not have done that. I honestly don't know your complete position, so I have made some wrong assumptions. I should change that. The point that I'm making is the belief in God shouldn't be this complex. And when I originally stated that all gods only exist in human testimony, I boil that down to this. There are people that exist on this planet today that have no access to Jesus.
What does that
And
mean?
it means this. The
No, I
only
mean, what is
access,
when you say it only exists in what does that mean, Craig?
it means that all claims about any God are from testimony of human
But this
beings,
is just
written or
Craig,
oral.
I need you to listen, my friend. When
Please.
you say written or oral,
Yeah.
in what way would a God reveal himself to humans without human minds being involved?
Oh no, I agree. God should reveal himself to every human every second, every day. He only has revealed himself to certain people on the planet, thousands of people
What's your
that
argument for that?
ultimately,
So
well,
wait,
the
wait, wait.
humans,
So Craig. Do you,
well,
we're
he asked
trying
me
to
a
get you on
question.
some, well, I don't even feel like you've answered any of my questions.
Well,
But I'm trying,
the host asked me a question. I was going to reply.
yeah, that's fine.
That's
Go
fine.
ahead.
You're doing good with Courtney, man. Keep going. You seem like a nice enough
Okay.
fella.
I, I'm trying. I'm sorry. If
You're
I've come
fine.
across
You're
wrong,
fine.
I don't
No,
want to.
You're good. Great.
you're fine. We're all we have many different questions, but I think what we're trying to figure out is how is it that you're making any of the claims that you're making? Like, I would be more interested in what made you not a Christian anymore. Like, what happened? What was revealed to you? Because I
Oh,
want you to
it
remember before you answer, I hope it's a good question because
is a
I
good
want you to,
question. Yes.
okay, before you answer it, I want you to remember what you just said about humans not knowing, right, what a God could say or do. And yet, I want you to remember this as you answer this question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, I, you're asking me for testimony. I don't want to bore your audience. Long story short,
Mhm.
my deconversion was similar to death by a thousand cuts, right? It was not an overnight thing. It
Mhm.
was a decade of struggle, right? My deconversion started when I read the entire Bible. Um, it's been my experience with a lot of the Christian folks that I interact with that they don't read the Bible. I actually racked down and read the Bible, as difficult as it is. Now, I started off, just so you know, I started off as a King James Christian. And I don't know where you guys are on that. I don't know what your position is on that.
Well, I wasn't born
Obviously,
in the 16th century, so
well, good. I'm glad we agree on that, right?
Yep.
Um, but but I've evolved over time, and I switched to different versions, the NIV, different translations, and the thing that got me the most is the inconsistency in the Bible, the contradictions that I cannot resolve, and nobody can really resolve for me. As a matter of fact, my deconversion started in the late '90s. Now, the internet was at its infancy, and part of my deconversion revolved around trying to understand the complexities of the problems that are contained within the Bible.
Okay, Craig, can we stop you right there?
Yeah, please. I know I don't
That's
want to
right.
ramble. I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
bore your
So,
audience.
in
Yeah.
other words, check it out, man. I'm hearing translations, and I'm hearing different versions, and then I'm hearing contradictions. So, do you want to talk
Maybe
about?
just one or
Do you
two.
want to talk about one
Yeah.
of those?
Well,
Like maybe
yeah.
yeah.
How about like a very simple one? Let me see if I can remember it.
Did the disciples take a
That
staff,
was
or
like
did they not take a staff? Ha ha!
No. Let's go to. Oh
and
boy.
this one that you're going to was the influential one.
No. But this is one that causes pause. This is one of the 1,000 cuts.
Okay.
Right. Like remember, it's not one. It's 1,000.
No, I understand.
All right. So if you
And I
go
often
to
find that 1,000 cuts tend to be from people who don't take care of the cuts as they come.
yeah, and it could be 10,000 cuts, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you go to what is it? Let's see, Acts.
Maybe just give us what it says, and then we'll maybe
It's
can help
talking
you.
about Judas and Judas.
Okay, so
Oh, the death of Judas.
real quick. So he was hung from a tree. Wolves got to him. Then they drug him off a cliff. Then it spilled everywhere.
No, that's not it at all.
Okay.
That's not it at all.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
I'm
Not the
pulling it up.
death
I'm
of
sorry.
Judas. Okay.
Not the death of
But
Judas.
Okay, here we go. Wait. If we go to Acts
what?
chapter 1, and we can start in, I guess, 15. Okay, 16. Brothers and sisters, the scripture had to be fulfilled, which the Holy Spirit through David foretold concerning Judas, who became I'm reading off the NRSV,
That's
by the
fine.
way.
You're
Okay. Foretold concerning who became a guide for those who arrested Jesus.
fine.
For he was numbered among us, that's assuming Judas, I guess, was and was allotted his share in the ministry. Now, this man acquired a field with the reward of his wickedness. Okay, so who acquired the field in this verse?
Yeah. So with this payment, he received his witness. Judas bought a field. There,
Wait, is
he
it
fell headlong. I'm
which
sorry.
version are you reading?
I just NIV. I just pulled
Why
up
does it
NIV.
matter which version that we're reading?
Well, I'll get to. Well, different versions say different things.
Wait a minute.
Okay, I'll pull up.
You said
let me
bought.
go to.
You said
I'll
bought.
do that.
No,
What if there's
it's
some?
good. You said
Okay,
bought.
hold
Did
on.
he buy the
Hold on.
field?
Hold on. Stand by. Hold on. I'll make this easier on us. Go to Bible Hub, where we have access to multiple
I mean, you never know. You
translations.
might
And
know.
then he can pull the Greek.
Well, there might be
Yeah, that was
there
him.
might be someone running around the app that can translate it in Greek, and then he wouldn't even need a version. And then what would
Well,
you
her
do?
I
version says
know,
bought,
that's
which
just
I
not
thought
me.
her version said bought, which I thought was interesting.
I
That's
know
all.
a guy, though. I know a guy
Okay.
that can translate
Bible
the
Hub is
Greek.
run by Mossad. I don't trust it.
That may be true.
That's funny.
My account got banned for 100 years, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here's
don't get in trouble being up here, man. It's the only thing I ask.
I won't.
with the payment he received for his wickedness, he bought a field. Judas bought a field. Now
Okay.
this man acquired a field. Now with the reward of this way, he bought a field, acquired a field, purchased a field, acquired a field, acquired.
Oh, you're going through all of
Bought.
them. Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Acquired, obtained. There's a American Standard Version says obtained.
Okay.
Bought with this. Yeah, so it's maybe the Greek. we got a Greek guy. The host could tell me if that's
What verse are we
proper.
in?
Verse 18, Acts 1, verse 18.
Acts what?
1.
Okay.
Uno.
Verse 18.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me the
18.
yeah. Only give me the hardest Greek to read in the entire New Testament. It's fine.
Acts, yeah. Love you.
Oh, you read Greek? Oh, that's
He
great.
does. He does read Greek.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great.
Oh, and get ready because here it's coming. And
Yeah.
we're
No,
all going to
that's
have to
good.
ask for a translation of the translation.
Yeah. So, I'm pulling it up. Hold on. Oh my God.
Fear
Luke sucks,
that.
man. Okay.
Go ahead.
So, let's see. No, Acts, man. Acts 1, verse 17.
No, verse 18. But love you anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, we have Luke. We can bring another Greek speaker up.
Hatikathemanos henmev humon kahilekan tan klenantes diakonas tautes. Ooh, that's a nasty one. So hati is going to be a conjunction that just means because. And let me bring it up here a little bit. So katarethumenos, that's going to be perfect passive. It's going to be a participle. That means when I say participle, it means running, ran, or run. It also has a case function that goes along with it, having been numbered or counted among. This is Acts 1:17, right?
No, 18. 18.
Okay.
Like I said, love you anyway.
18.
Yeah, I was about to say. Oh, then that one's kai geneta ento tapotauto peson trenes ilakeneses mesos kai exuthe pante to eplachna autu.
Oh, crap.
Ooh, aplachna. Yeah, so it's going to be a conjunction just when this means and. Agenita is just the is a form of the word genomai in the aorist middle indicative, which is a third singular. And that verse typically says beginning or coming into, and it happened or it came to pass. And so it's in the middle voice, which means the subject participates in the event. And in the aorist means it's a
Pause.
snapshot that happens.
That's the answer.
Past.
Thank you. I was waiting to hear it. Oh, Constantine, you're the best. Okay, so Craig, is this an issue with whether he purchased it or the priest?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Matthew 27:3 says he threw the coins down and the priest struggled over what to do.
Yes,
right. So
I understand.
Right. So that's a problem.
Is that
but here's the thing.
Wait. Is
Here's
that a problem if what he just said in the Greek?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Constantine,
Yeah.
with your amazing Greek, could you please say that part right before I said pause again?
Yeah, so
good
and
sir?
the agenita, which is the lexical form of genomai, it's in the aorist middle indicative. So that means that's a middle voice. There's an indicative mood, and aorist is a simple past action taking place in a third person singular. It happened, it came to pass. And so what that does is the subject participates in the event.
Yeah.
And it's a simple past. So the verb introduces a narrative event. And so ento tapo tauto, which is in the dative of in, and tapo is a dative singular masculine, meaning the place, and tauto is a demon pro. I call them demon pros. They're actually called demonstrative pronouns, which are dative singular masculine, meaning this and in this place. So
Yeah. No,
do you know
it.
what a contradiction is? If I say I'm talking and not
I
talking,
didn't say a contradiction. I said a problem or inconsistency. So like there are other contradictions in the Bible that I can probably point to, but this is a simple one it confuses people, right? And the English translation,
I'm not seeing
the English translation should clarify this. Right. And I can't find a translation that doesn't say anything that what Courtney has said.
Okay,
like
pause.
Acquired.
Now, okay, hold on. I don't know Greek, so I would have to ask the two Greek speakers that we have present if there's anything wrong with saying acquired or purchased, or what was the other one in Acts? I think it was Americans.
I'm honored.
Okay, yeah. What was the other one? American. Oy vey, where is it at? It said something else. Bought a piece, bought a. Anyways, in
I'm
some.
sorry. I got to yell at my dog really quick. 2
Go ahead.
seconds.
Yeah, go ahead, yell at your dog. That's fine.
Okay.
I have a little
Um,
dog, Chewbacca.
but
He's
a
eating wings.
funny
Sorry.
name.
Can you leave your
Um,
mic? Can you leave
Sorry
your
about
mic
that.
on?
so I guess what I'm asking is,
Sorry, guys.
I
He's
I didn't
laughing
hear.
at he's laughing at me.
I didn't hear.
I
Sorry.
said, could you leave
Dan.
your mic on?
Oh,
No. I had to yell at my dog. I'm sorry.
I know that's whatever. Forget it.
yeah. He
Sorry.
wanted to hear you yell at your dog. I guess what I'm asking is, now this man obtained a field with the reward obtained, acquired, purchased. Greek speakers in the room, is there anything? I mean, I guess I could pull the Greek myself. Is there anything that otherwise would give the connotation that any of those words are improper? Number one, and then number two, I think what Craig, sorry, I apologize, is looking for is an expository, explanatory type of expounding on the verse when the verse isn't doing that. The verse is just translating from the Greek into the English, and it has to be proper to that.
Well, the demonstrative
Um,
pronoun of hutos, which just means this man, this one, which is going to predicate everything that comes after it into the next thing, which is tesato in the
Can you
lexical. That
translate the
is,
entire verse in your own language? Can you translate it to the best of your ability in the entire verse
well,
from
yeah,
Greek into
yeah, but the
English?
reason that we go to Greek is not just for the direct translation, but the nuance of the words, right?
No, I get it. You provide your nuance, provide your inflection, provide your understanding.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
asking.
understand what you're saying. So, in the aorist middle indicative of the third singular meaning he acquired, which is ketesomai or ketomai, there's a kappa and a tau right beside it, so it's ketomai. He acquired, he obtained, purchased for himself. There's a middle voice nuance there. And the middle voice nuance is important because it implies a personal involvement or benefit that he acquired for himself. And this is why
Right.
it says
I agree.
Peter says Judas obtained the field, even though Matthew says the priest purchased it. The middle voice allows this idiom. So it's idiomatic in that he obtained it by means of his actions, not necessarily by personally performing the transactions. And so because of that middle voice, that's going to carry the nuance that we're looking for to give you your
But
answer.
wouldn't you say that if you actually required the New Testament to be univocal? My
What do you mean by
position.
univocal? Do you mean word for word, or do you?
Well, what I mean
Hold on a
is
second. When you say univocal, that's a lot of burden. What I take univocal to
I,
be means
I'll,
for faith, rule, and practice, and means to acquire salvation. So
if you let me
I don't have
finish.
to have words to
I,
words matching, right?
no. I just want to finish what I was getting to.
It just seems
Right.
like we're importing an
The
unnecessary
point
burden.
the point that I was getting to is every author has their own take on events.
What's wrong with that?
Right. So there's
but
nothing. That's why actually can accept that in Acts, the author thought that Judas purchased the field.
That's not
In
what the
or
middle.
the
Matthew,
That's
Greek
not what the
says
middle voice
hang
is
on.
otherwise.
doing.
Well,
But
hang,
but Craig,
hang,
didn't you
hang
say
on. Can
hang
you guys
on?
let me finish my thought? For crying out
Yes,
loud! Like
yes, Craig.
Jesus.
But
This always
Craig,
happens.
here's
Well,
what
no, you
we're.
guys interrupt. I want to finish my thought.
Well, Craig, I hear your thoughts. Your thoughts
All
are
right,
it's
all right, all right. Go
multivol.
ahead.
The reason why we're interrupting you is because you're saying the same thing. Wouldn't it have been better if the Greek speaker had said blah blah blah? But
The,
we just
the
had a Greek speak. Well,
the Greek speaker
Craig,
agreed with me. He said
No,
no,
acquired.
he didn't.
no, you didn't
He said
understand.
acquired.
So the problem is,
But
right? So that's a semantic range. So you're saying this equals this word for word,
right,
but that's the problem is that English words don't have a voice,
All
right?
right.
So this is the version it, that you're okay. So let's try this. Tasso and the aorist middle indicative of the third singular from katasomai to acquire, to obtain, or secure for oneself.
Something happened.
What?
Sorry, can you repeat that? You dropped. I'm sorry. I want to
It
hear
was
your
his
full
dogs.
statement. You dropped.
Are you being attacked by your dogs?
His dogs are gnawing at his
No,
hands and feet.
no.
Okay.
It's a little Shih
Cows don't
Tzu.
get
His
cake,
name's
bro.
Chewbacca.
Courtney knows.
So the middle voice, right? What that does is it ensures that the subject participates in or benefits from the action. So it doesn't mean that the subject personally performs every step of the action. It means he obtained it with reference to himself by means of his actions or circumstances. Now that's just going to be extra wordy if we're going to write all of that into the New Testament. But the problem is that the New Testament authors weren't writing to appease TikTok atheists, right? So this is the same middle voice used for Acts 22 something. I think it's where Paul says he obtained Roman citizenship. There's a middle voice in there. Even though he didn't personally perform the bureaucratic process, it was obtained. I think there's a few other words, and this is just common Greek idiomatic practice where someone obtains something through consequences of their actions, even if the intermediaries carry out the transaction. And that's what the middle voice does, and that's what the English doesn't allow for, but the Greek does because of the nuance of voice, intense, and mood. So the middle voice does not require Judas to personally buy the land, all right?
Okay, all right, no. And
here's the receipts to back that up if you're interested, Craig,
right,
so
no,
that
no,
you
no,
don't think
no.
he's just running his mouth.
I fully understand and appreciate and respect your guys' position on this. The point that I'm making is this. I'll wrap it back into my original statement. I should not, as a layperson, have to rely on your interpretation to understand what's going on in the Bible. It should be
Cal, get that down.
Hang on. I should not even have to be able to read in order to find Jesus.
Samurai Hack, did you want to come up? I'm sorry, I just now saw you in there.
Right. So that's the problem.
Wait.
Let's just say this. I don't know how to read. How do I find Jesus without another human being's testimony? Go ahead.
Well, there could be the case that Jesus may reveal himself to you. Go ahead, Veritas.
No, go ahead.
Actually, I mean, we're just going to sum this up because I got other guests, man, and we've answered a lot of questions. Maybe this should happen in DMs.
So you don't want to answer that question. That's the core of my question.
Okay, that's the core of the question.
We can answer.
That's the core.
Okay.
I don't know how to read.
Now that you place this burden on me, what's the argument that he hasn't revealed himself to you?
He hasn't.
Okay,
I don't believe human beings.
Okay, that's
I just
an
don't believe
assertion.
them.
What's the argument?
The same way I don't believe that human beings have been abducted by space aliens.
But how do you know you're not a brainin of that, though?
How do you know you're not a brainin of that?
We already answered that. We already answered that, but you weren't prepared to handle that conversation.
You and I don't have a problem for hard solipsism. We don't. Neither of us.
Okay, that's real quick. Let me sum this up.
But you haven't summed that up.
Okay,
you have not established.
Craig, here's the thing. If I start rendering that argument, man, you're not going to be able to keep up.
Hang on. I should not be able to read in order to find God. And here I am.
Okay, what's the argument?
Making that claim.
Hey, how about this, Craig? What's the argument God wants to reveal himself to you?
Are you a Calvinist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, interesting. I wish I would have known that. Okay.
But
we're actually on the same page then. I think we're more on the same page than you think. I don't believe in free will.
Okay, well, can we talk?
So you're a hard determinist then?
I've got other people on the panel.
Yeah. No. If you need to kick me, I'm cool. Hey, you guys have been great. I really apologize if
no, it's cool.
No, you're fine.
I haven't been cordial.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Be blessed.
Why does he think Calvinists don't believe in free will? What?
I don't know why he thought that, but I didn't want to have to unpack.
Well, that's why I asked him. So you're a hard determinist then, because that's the way they view it. But okay, whatever.
Is it, by the way, if there's any Orthodox or Catholic brothers that are offended at my Calvinism, I am sorry. Please don't unfollow me. All right.
Screw that. Wait, why?
Actually,
apologize?
We're going to do this. Veritas is going to announce his friendship and ecumenism with me in fellowship right now, and that will vindicate me in the eyes of all of the Orthodox Historical Church. Veritas, go ahead and start beginning to do that now.
On behalf of Catholics,
Stop.
We are hoping for Constantine to
come to the fullness of the church. The Catholic Church, but we do support Constantine's,
lives. That's fine.
Lives, exactly.
Yeah,
and his life too. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. All right, Chris, man, what's up?
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just a statue then.
Okay, hold on. Detective, sorry. You know, here's the problem. Okay, let me tell you what my mother used to tell me. If you've been over the house more than 2 hours before, you're no longer a guest.
Oh, that's a good point.
What does that even mean? Hold on.
It means don't ask me for water. Get it yourself.
Yeah. Cal, listen. If you've been in the house more than 2 hours before, you're no longer a guest. You need to get up and get your own water.
Yeah, I get the analogy. I'm just saying, like, what is it? Like, what would the water be here?
Don't ask to be. Just get in the conversation.
Just
like
get
at
in,
this
bro.
point, just get in where you fit in.
You know, you're here.
Yeah. So I just had a question about like a contradiction. I promise you, it's not gonna rely on Greek. So
thank God.
Yeah. So it's again, I like these simple questions. I've heard like the Jewish stance on this. It's kind of copy, but I was wondering if you maybe hold the same stance.
Kind of copy.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so it's 1 Kings 15 verse 5. Basically, the gist of it, it says that David did right in the eyes of the Lord, and he didn't turn away from any of the commands. Is that my mic? Hold on.
No, that was me. I just did that. I wanted to do that.
Oh, well, that's happened to me on more than one occasion. So basically, where was I? Yeah, so it says that David's only sin.
Well, Uriah actually.
Yeah, with Uriah the Hittite, exactly.
Yeah.
But then in 1 Chronicles 21 verses 7 to 8, David sins.
What is that noise? I'm gonna mute the new person.
Yeah, Snuffle. I don't think you're old enough to be here.
I think it might be a kid in the background.
Yeah,
but,
I know. Goodness gracious.
Go ahead.
Tough crowd.
Yeah, tough crowd.
Hold on.
Yeah,
We gotta do something with that. It's late, but
hey. All right, burger. All right, yeah. So I just want to say like the Jewish understanding that I heard, and I was just understanding because I didn't see it's like really that convincing. They say that so instead of like saying okay it's general, they admit that it's David's only sin was Uriah, which I'll grant you encompasses Bathsheba, but they say that David saying I have sinned is him speaking on behalf of Israel, but I don't think that's convincing. So how would you reconcile David's only sin being Uriah and then him sinning by censusing Israel?
Wait, what? First of all, these are different categories of sins. I'm surprised no Jew has told you this. Are you recording? Are you recording your cooking?
I swear to God, I'm not.
I don't care. It's fine.
No, I'm not. I swear.
I believe you. Say wallahi.
Wallahi.
I believe you, Kat. I believe you. Okay. I'm surprised no Jew has told you there's different categories of sin.
I know.
Like,
I know there are. I'm saying.
No, I'm saying they haven't told you that. Like, I'm asking for more details on what their answer was.
you didn't poison the well with saying it's copy early, did you?
Yeah.
It's well poisoning. You're well poisoning, bro.
He's drinking a Mexican Coke. In my eyes, that's a category of sin.
What? What is this guy yapping
Mexican
about?
Coke has like real sugar in it,
listen, chat. Let's get a burger strike on Chris Damadian. Get a burger strike on there. We'll give him one doing baseball rules.
Okay. Yes, I'm aware there's different types of sin, but basically, I'm sure you know Yaakov, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, which one? There's two, but the Yaakov that
Oriel's teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, Yaakov is my student. I give him arguments. He's like, I'm a disappointed father. I'm a disappointed father.
Okay.
So, anyways,
poisoning the well. Yaakov shots fired. Strays.
Wait, Cal, does he know that you're daddy?
Yeah, I give him arguments, especially Oriel. That kid is like not good at all.
Good head of hair on him though. Good head of hair.
Yeah, he has good hair according to Constantine.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's the argument they give. So would you just like appeal to like the separation of like the distinction? Like of David turning away from God's command versus like David like committing an actual sin or would you say like 1 Kings 15 is general, like it's not
Yeah.
like absolute?
Yeah, I would say that these are just different categories of sins, and I'm I'm flabber. My gases are flabbered. Why in the heck do you speak to two Orthodox Jews and they don't give you a distinction in the types of sin here?
Come on, Cal.
Because one is a serious Averas, like a freaking like you know what an Averas is, right?
An affair?
Okay, so it's like it's like a grave sin.
Yeah, mortal sin, yeah.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
Yeah, I understand. I can see it. I can see it. The higher ups are calling me. I gotta go. I have a case. I gotta run.
All right. God bless. Hey, may the God of Abraham bless you, Cal. Salam alaikum, yeah?
Wa alaikum salam.
All right, Chris.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, man, he's cool. Yeah. Chris.
No,
Hey, what's up? So
Chris,
I thought,
look, man, you got one burger strike on here already, bro.
dude, I thought it was my turn up, and then he just went. You said, "What's up, Chris?" And then he just
It
went
was
right
before
in
you,
before me.
but like I said, Cal's not a guest. He hangs out on this live all the time. So what's up, Chris? What you got, homie?
All right, man. Well, I got about a few more minutes before I have to jump into a meeting, but real quick.
Wait a minute. What's the meeting about, bro?
It's a new ad manager we have running our Instagram page, but that's neither here nor there. Quick question, I guess, or hypothetical. Well, you can treat it as a hypothetical, but so there was, like a young 19-year-old that was shot and killed in the town I was from. And then the guy who killed him eventually got caught like a few months down the road. And he had and he got the death penalty because that's the state I was living in for you, which I don't agree with, but it is what it was. And on death row, as many of them do, he gave his life up to God. Seemed genuine for all we can tell. His last words were, the Lord's Prayer, Jesus, Son of God, have mercy on me as a sinner. And then, he just got an injection and quietly went into sleep and woke up in paradise.
Do you think so?
I mean, if he had genuinely given his life to Christ, I mean, that's what the Bible affirms.
Okay. So you got a flushed out view of election then.
If he genuinely repented, gave his life to Christ, and I believe prisons will baptize you if it's your wish.
Perhaps, do you wish God would stop all evil?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, what if he started with you, dog?
Well, that's fine. If my evil is evil enough to be, written out.
Okay, what if he started with me?
Dude, if your evil is truly evil,
What we said.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? Your evil, my evil. What's the ultimate reference for evil? What's evil picking out here?
My standard of morals is reason.
Okay, wait a second. I'm sorry. Your standard? I'm sorry. If you're the ultimate dictator of possibility and impossibility,
I'm not the
for some
ultimate
sort of final
dictator.
moral
I just
ontological
believe
substrate,
that-
well, then we're going to have a problem. If you're just giving me interpersonal, if you give me some sort of like
you're-
referential, autobiographical information, then why would I be concerned with that?
You're trying to say that if
Chris, why would I be concerned with
found my
autobiographical
morals in
information?
your God, then they don't matter.
No,
But I
no
don't
one said that. No one said that, Chris. Look, I'm just trying to say, look, hey, here's the position.
Okay, can we stick with the hypothetical though? Because I'm just trying to get all the way.
Yeah, I don't know if your friend is condemned or not condemned. I don't know if he's in the book of life or not. I don't know what your view of election is. I don't know what your soteriological views are.
I would assume he's not, being that he wasn't a believer.
Okay.
But I mean, knowing this kid intimately for 19 years, his biggest sin was playing hooky from school a couple times. I mean, he went to every single food drive we had every year. He was in every Christmas toy drive. Yeah, he played hooky from school a couple times. But
Yeah, Chris, these testimonies are amazing, but listen, I'm going to tell you this.
It's not a testimony.
Christ
Treat
is
it as a hypothetical.
Okay, it's a hypothetical. Chris, here's the deal. Christ is not going to push anyone into heaven against their will. He's a gentleman. He'll leave you alone, right? So What's the argument?
I don't think my friend's wish would have been to burn in hell for all of eternity.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, the conversation is slightly boring, but what I'm asking you here is, what is it exactly that you're positing as an argument? What's the problem?
The justness of that.
Okay, what is it? What is justice picking out? What is justice picking out ultimately? And who is the ultimate arbiter of
It's picking
justice?
out belief in God as more
I'm sorry,
important.
that's not answering the question. What is the ultimate arbiter of justice? Is it you?
I don't believe there's an ultimate arbiter of justice. I don't
Okay,
believe
so
in
then
God.
why are you telling me just autobiographical information that I'm unconcerned with?
I'm just trying to reckon. How do you reconcile a just God
What
when
is
that
what is
is
justice
the
picking
system
out
of
here?
justice in Christianity?
Okay, when you say justice, what is justice picking out here?
I'm sorry, what does that question mean?
Okay, all right. So have you thought this view through? Look, these aren't really arguments. They're just anecdotes. You're just telling me things that you don't like about Christianity. You're not giving me an argument to reduce
It's
the
an
value
internal
of its claim.
critique trying to reconcile how you feel that would coincide with the perfectly just
What do you mean by
God.
perfectly just, and what is just picking out here? Who is he perfectly just to?
He's perfectly just according to you guys.
Okay, show me where it says, what is that index to? Like all loving or perfectly just in accordance to a nature of justice. So there's some sort of final intentionality and purpose behind said justice. And what is justice doing in this context? Books have been written about the subject, Chris. Why am I going to accept whatever you've assigned to it for a domain definition?
You don't have to accept my domain definition.
Right.
I'm just seeing
That's
what
the
your
problem.
definition
Is
and what your
justice-
reconciliation is.
Right. Well, my reconciliation is that if there is an ultimate criterion of justice, then I wouldn't know what injustice was unless it existed simplicator.
Okay, so do you need to know that there's an ultimate justice? and an
If I
ultimate
didn't know what
justice?
straight was, if I didn't know what a straight line was, I wouldn't be able to understand what's crooked now, would I?
Well, in your worldview, God set it up that way, but
Okay, what's your argument? Wait a minute. God set it up what way? What does that even mean? What?
I mean, you gave an example of a straight line and a crooked line, but I can extend the analogy to how would we know, which is what ultimately the conversation is about. How would we know evil, or if there was no good, or how
The
would we
reason
know
that
good if there was no evil?
we do know what evil is, right? And how is it that we know what evil is? What is again, I think this is just you're assuming what justice is picking up, but you haven't answered that question, right? So if it's our position within the purview and framework of our system of beliefs that there's a final moral ontological substrate that dictates possibility and impossibility within ethical values or meta norms, or not meta norms, or physical norms, ethical norms, ontological norms, right? Then wouldn't it be the case that there's also an epistemological norm that would dictate possibility, impossibility, truth versus not truth, moral versus not moral, objective versus subjective? Like, why would I take the position to just adhere to your system of beliefs and say, well, it's just some sort of interpreferential data, and I can just say, hey, what do you feel about it, when I don't have a position to critique my view from? It just seems like we're just sort of begging a question.
I don't think we are, because I don't think morality or
I'm not really concerned about your attitude towards a proposition, because an attitude towards said proposition doesn't negate its value, right? So what you think about it,
that the only possibility is that there.
what I'm saying is that your attitude towards a proposition and what you think doesn't.
Possibility, then that's fine.
Okay.
But
All right. Go to your meeting and enjoy. All right. Who do we got next?
Hello. I'm here.
Okay, Keelan, what are you doing?
All right, bro. Look.
Bro spoke up fast. He's like, "Don't pass me up."
For real though.
All right, so we would all agree what distinguishes the persons here is going to be their relation of origin, of course, obviously, right?
Wait, what are we?
Wait, can I
Person
handle
as
this one?
in me
You want me to-
versus Veritas. Yeah, get it, Veritas. What are we talking about?
Veritas, you're up, man. Go ahead.
So, yeah, what distinguishes the persons is going to be relative opposition.
Yeah, so their
And I think
relations
this
of origins.
The relation of origins is what's gonna produce the distinction that
No,
persons have. That
that's
distinction is
incorrect.
gonna be the relative opposition.
That's going to be what I'll explain. Their relation between all three persons is going to be what distinguishes them. what distinguishes the Father and the Son is going to be the relation that the Father begets the Son and the Son is
Yes, a
begotten of
relative
the Father.
opposition, right?
Okay, good. So I want to ask you right quick,
Okay,
Veritas, or
so you
whatever
just
your name is.
conceded. GG's.
I didn't distinguish. I don't even know what you're saying right now, son. Pipe down, okay? Let me speak. Now I want to ask you right quick. What distinguishes the Holy Spirit and the Son?
What distinguishes the Holy Spirit from the Son?
In personhood, yes.
The ratio for their possession.
What?
The ratio for their possession.
Bro, speak up, please.
The active
Their
procession.
their ratio for their possession.
Okay, what is procession meaning right here?
Yeah, procession is just going to be that by which they emanate from some other subject. And by emanate, we're using it in a loose sense, not in a Platonic sense.
Okay, and that's what distinguishes them, correct? Do you
That's
know how
what
it
distinguishes the Holy
okay.
Spirit from the Son, yes.
That's not how you distinguish two subjects, you know that, right?
Yeah, this guy is slow. There's different ways to distinguish two subjects.
I'm slow. Yeah, there's different ways to distinguish, but there's ways you distinguish within the Trinity, you genius.
Wait, are you a
You
Christian?
just said,
You?
Oh my
yeah, what
gosh,
are
bro.
you? What are you?
I mean, I don't know. You guys can't answer this question about the Trinity. So
Wait,
am
you
I?
don't wait, you don't know what you are
What are we
because you
talking about?
think we can't answer
Hey,
our question?
hey, look, bro. Look,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
there's
bro. I'm a
different
Nigerian, bro,
ways.
and you ain't about to disrespect me, bro.
Hold on. You said,
What?
yo,
Yo,
man.
I'm about to
man, you
kick
getting
you. How about
crazy.
that?
Where did
You
he?
getting crazy
Yeah,
in
like,
here,
But
bro.
sit down.
Bro, what you getting
Sit
crazy in
down.
here for, bro?
Your Nigerian butt is now in the chat.
What's that got to do with anything?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Dude, coming up in here tripping, bro.
That's funny. Oh, I'm Nigerian. You're not about to. What? We asked you what you were.
Hey, what's up?
For
real.
All right, Snuffle or Apollo, what's up, man?
Nothing much. I mean, I've had this conversation with you specifically, but you kind of like agreed in our previous conversation that like you weren't prepared to address the
Well,
argument that I
the
had.
thing is with the argument that you have, I would argue it transcendentally, so they would kind of conflate and it would get muddied up. So we'd be speaking two different languages.
Okay, got you. So
But
do you want to talk
but
about
it
the
was,
argument, or do you want to pass it over to someone else?
I guess you can run it. Either me or Veritas can take it, or just Philo. It doesn't matter.
Okay, sure. I'll take it on that. Whichever person you believe would have a quicker conversation with me on the given arguments, right?
Go ahead.
Just
Veritas, you want it? I can take it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just give it. Just what argument are you giving? Like against the hypostatic union, or some scriptural argument, like some
Against
contradiction
the
or something?
hypostatic union, yeah. So
Okay.
I talk about basically the idea of like there's going to be certain essential capacities which are going to be ascribed towards the persons, and then there's going to be like some sort of like contradiction given the fact that there's some incompatibility between the essential capacities that some of these persons have, and it's actualizing the negation towards these essential capacities or properties or characteristics, basically.
Yeah, can you speak up because I can't really hear you.
Yeah,
Keep
Apollo.
like dropping down.
And again, we
You
would.
can't hear me?
Yeah, Apollo. We'd probably need the language model qualified.
Okay, gotcha, cool. So can you hear me better now?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the concept is just quite simply that so we have some sort of like commitment in modal logic, right? So like we know for a fact that necessity ranges over all possible domains and possibilities. And so there's certain necessary facts about, let's say, for example, God, right? Like we know for a fact that there's a necessary fact about God, there's necessary facts about the Son, and we know like the Son, necessarily speaking, would be the type of thing which is, you could say possess divine aseity, or is omnipotent and is independent of all things. And then there's some incompatibility between these necessary facts and some given actualizations that we know about in the real world.
And are you saying that by incompatibility, are you saying inconsistency?
Logical contradictions?
Okay, so that you're saying that there's a real logical contradiction, right?
Yeah. Would you say that the Son is necessarily independent of all things?
Would I say the Son is what?
Would you say the Son is necessarily independent of all things, or omnipotent?
Necessarily depend. I can't hear you.
Necessarily
Did you say
independent of all things.
independent?
Yeah. Not sure we're confused, Courtney. It's a very simple question.
Wait.
Lock in.
I'm confused because I can't hear
I know
you.
you're confused. You sound confused. But Veritas,
Wait,
I'm just
what's
asking you
happening
specifically.
right now? Like I haven't
What's
spoken
happening
at
is I'm asking
all.
the question.
I don't know why he
and you're
has to be
crashing
How
out.
about this? How about
So,
this, little boy? How about that? Now you're not asking anything.
Constantine, could you like control your mouse, please?
So
So we can do this, Apollo.
Just control the mods.
Apollo, how about you and I speak, and then we can exchange with each other.
The heck?
I can take the argument over.
Yeah, I got you.
I
But
wasn't
while
the
you're
only one
speaking,
that couldn't hear
hopefully,
him. Watch your
yeah.
mouth. You
But while
say
you're
something else,
speaking,
I'll drop you. I swear.
hopefully,
Watch your mouth.
hopefully, the female on the
Yeah, there
sideline
you
doesn't
go.
mute me
And
again.
you're good. Goodbye, you little
I
boy.
don't know why.
You
I
can
don't know
come
why
back
this
up.
guy always Apollo. Why do you have to be so rude, man? Like
I
Jesus
literally
Christ.
just couldn't hear him. Veritas couldn't hear him either. That's why we both came off mic at the same time and said, "What did you say?" And
Yeah,
he's
that's
mad because like
interesting.
he's
Because
and he's
Courtney,
mad
you're
just because
having a
like
temper
he's mad
tantrum
just
because I was asking you a
Apollo,
yeah.
just
question.
focus. Stop. Leave her alone.
Lock
Just
in.
focus.
So
Yeah, just
me and
focus on giving
Veritas,
your argument.
and Constantine can have a conversation. So only for the males, right? Just relax.
Hey,
Okay.
Apollo.
Stop
I'm about to
doing
do it
that,
again.
bro.
Apollo, come on, man. We can't just come up and just start insulting Maz, dog. I mean, you're okay. Run the argument. Look,
Yeah, just come up and run the argument. Sorry we couldn't hear you. Your mic sucks. Maybe get some gifts and buy a better one. Thank you.
Come on, Paulo, man,
I
chill
mean,
out.
that's unfortunate for you, Courtney,
Just
because
relax.
I could have heard like
It's kind of
perfect.
Yeah, and
crazy
I'm sorry we
because
can't understand you either.
the people in the chat is actually disagreeing and is like mocking you, by the way. But here's gonna be the
Yeah,
conversation
like I
in
don't
question.
care.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course, my mic is
Yeah, definitely just
definitely
answer the
terrible,
question.
but
Like I'm
everyone else
sorry.
could have heard my mic,
Can you
and
just
everyone else is
say
mocking me
it?
for having a high cortisol right now. It's crazy.
No one has high
So here's the question
cortisol.
I have right now,
Thank
Veritas,
you.
right? I'm just gonna ignore the person who is talking right now, who's mumbling.
Yeah.
Right. So the
Yeah.
question is very simple, right? I was asking you, Veritas, and I mean, Constantine can step into the conversation if you want to step into the conversation. It's just me asking if you believe the sun is necessarily independent of all things. Do you believe this?
When we talk about go ahead, Veritas, you're good.
Okay, so when you say that the sun is necessarily independent, I take independent to have different intentions, different categories. So are you saying like necessarily ontologically independent?
Yep.
Yeah, obviously I would say the sun is necessarily ontologically.
Well, you're saying yes or
What
no?
the heck? Wait, what the heck just happened to
What did he get kicked or something?
I don't know what happened. Hello? Veritas, are you good? What happened?
No, he's back up.
What happened?
I don't know.
Yo,
for some reason, my TikTok just swiped over to Dom's live.
How's Dom doing?
I just see Dom screaming on his I'm like, what?
He's over there freaking out.
Yeah, because I was just scrolling through the comments, and I scrolled to a live mistake. But
Yo, what's up?
yeah.
Was
So
it
I
a
would
yes
say
or
that
no?
the
I
sun
didn't hear a
is.
response.
Yeah, so I would say that the sun is necessarily ontologically independent, together with the Father and the Holy Spirit.
Okay, gotcha, cool. So you understand why that specifically is incompatible with the sun being a human at some moment in time, right?
I don't think it's
temporal stages.
incompatible. So yeah, so when you said that you're using the word incompatible, you said you're using it to denote a logical contradiction. I don't think there's a logical contradiction because the terms the sun is ontologically independent and the sun is ontologically dependent have different intentional rules.
Okay, so it is not the case they have different intentions because when we're talking about the sun, we're talking about the person, right? So when I say the sun is ontologically independent, I'm talking about the person. And of course, the person can
That's
be...
just supposition. Intentional rules is not about supposition.
Wait, hold on a second. So I'm not sure what you mean by supposition here in this given context, but I'd like to finish my point first, right? I'm saying that the claim that the sun is ontologically independent is a claim which is about the person, okay? When you say that's necessarily true, you're saying there's no case scenario in which the person will be the type of thing which is dependent on something else, right? When you're talking about, for example, what would individuate the sun at a given moment. But we know that there are certain temporal stages in which the sun is dependent on something else, ontologically speaking.
Okay, no problem. So when I say supposition, I'm using John of St. Thomas' semiological account of propositions and how subjects operate within a given proposition. So a supposition is just going to be suppositio in Latin, which just means whatever this subject is standing for in a given proposition, right? So for
Which would
example,
be the individual with the particles of the properties.
No, we're not talking about parts and properties. We're just talking about supposition. Okay. Now, parts and properties could be used as predicates in a given proposition. Now, on predicates, I take predicates to be intellectually determinable when you have a given intentional rule, which defines the predicate given a specific linguistic system.
Brother, you said suppositum, right?
Basically, you said I should interrupt you, but yeah, go ahead, ask a question.
Yeah, so sorry for the background. You said suppositum, right?
Yeah, supposition.
Yeah. So if you're indexing supposition to suppositum, then to disagree that suppositum
Well,
is an
okay, now that
accepted
doesn't
thing,
make
which
any
is
sense. What does it mean to index
you
supposition to
claim you
suppositum?
referenced the Latin term suppositor, correct? Did you not reference
Yes,
this
but
terminology?
you can't.
Yeah, suppositum. I'm not sure what your source is, but how we define suppositum in metaphysics and literature is talking about a
No, but
particular
I'm saying when
individual.
you
And
said
I'm
index
still talking.
supposition,
What are you doing? I was
you
saying that in
interrupted me. I
metaphysics.
thought we could like go back and forth, but
No,
okay.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
you're good,
No.
Veritas. You're good.
So I'm just saying Veritas, right? So in metaphysics literature, when you're talking about suppositum, right, we're generally speaking in scholastic literature, we're
I'm not
talking
talking
about
about
a particular
suppositum.
individual. You said you referenced suppositum. What are you talking about?
Supposition.
Yeah, you referenced supposition, then you boiled that down to
Yeah, those two things
suppositum.
are different. Supposition is not suppositum, my friend.
Did you reference the Latin term suppositum, Veritas?
So, no, I
Did you
said
not?
suppositio.
You said supposition first, right? Did you not?
Okay, my friend, supposition and suppositum are not the same.
But
Suppositum in
supposition is
Latin.
not a Latin term. Do you understand this?
Yeah, supposition is not. Yeah,
You
I
referenced
could literally
the
just put
Latin
this.
term suppositum.
Yeah, look at the chat. Look at the chat. This is the Latin term. I could just put it for you. It's really simple. That's the Latin. That's the Latin term, right? Now,
So that's what he said, not
suppositum is
suppositum,
this.
correct?
Yeah, that's what I said. Not suppositum,
Okay.
of course.
So you claimed that within the arguments given for the contradiction, there are distinctions in intentional states of yes, right?
I'm saying that the way that you apply the predicates to the given subject is going to have different intentional rules in this case.
Do
So
you
when you
think,
say that
or
Christ is
when you say
ontologically
intentions, are you talking about
independent
primary intentions or secondary intentions?
and Christ is ontologically depends on what you mean by primary and secondary. What do you mean?
Primary
Because I don't
intentions
think
in
you're
the
taking
field
that
of.
account.
Okay, so primary intentions, I'm just going to clarify and you can just answer the question based on this clarification, right? Primary
Yeah, what do you mean
intentions
by that?
are talking about the necessary and or sufficient conditions for a particular concept, and secondary intentions is usually talking about the things associated with those said concepts, right, in the conceptual architecture. What are you
Yeah.
talking about when you're referencing intentional distinction between the propositions?
So that's not how I'm using intention. So I'm just using intentional rules to express how a predicate or how a given statement makes sense giving a linguistic system. So that's
Yeah,
why
that's compatible with
intentional
my theory of
rules
linguistics.
intentional rules should not be conflated with like primary and secondary intentions the way that contemporary philosophers want to use it. So I'm
Primary and
using
secondary
like so
intentions
like
grounds
can I just
intelligibility in
finish my
linguistics.
statement, please? I want us to have a good conversation. Right. So the way that I'm using intentional rules here is just the way that Carnap uses it. So like are you familiar with like Carnap's symbolic logic?
Yes.
Right. So in symbolic logic, he doesn't use first and second intentions to explain intentional rules. Intentional rules are just going to be whatever gives the predicate a specific intelligible determination given some linguistic system. And I'm saying that the intelligible determination behind the predicate, the son is ontologically dependent, has its foundation in the human nature. And the intelligible determination in the son being ontologically independent has its foundation in the divine nature. Therefore, there's not a real contradiction. I would grant you that there's an apparent contradiction, but it's not a real contradiction because the intentional rules that define the predicates are different.
Yeah, so whether or not Carnap symbolic logic utilizes the specific terminology as primary or secondary intentions is irrelevant because intelligible determinations are going to be the types of things predicated upon one's conceptual schemes, which is going to be the type of thing which is going to
No,
be
intelligible
reducible to
determinations are
primary
not.
intentions in the vast majority
No,
of case scenarios.
no,
I'll give
that's
you an
false.
example. That's actually correct. I think you're really confused on the topic, right? And just to be clear, like just LARPing like this is not going to be looking good at the rhetoric, right? So if you have a case
Okay,
scenario
if you want to
which
do
we
this
say,
burger rhetoric thing,
I'll
I could literally
I
just
don't
throw up
know. I
your
don't know why being
picture
a
of
high
you in the
schooler right
ground.
now, right? You're just being a high schooler, or you're just interrupting,
I mean,
right?
like
So
we could do the rhetoric thing if you want. I don't think you want to go there, Apollo.
yeah, but you're not good on
Do you
rhetoric,
want to have a
so
charitable conversation, or
you're
do you
not
want to
good at
be a
rhetoric. So I'm not sure why you're
do
trying
you
to
want to
like
do the
use the
schoolboy
whole.
rhetoric?
This guy's
Okay,
like,
you want to do
I
that?
don't
All
know,
right, fine.
I don't know where to use rhetoric. I can go there. Okay, just relax. Calm down, Pajit. So look, here's the point I'm making. Okay, when you're talking about things which makes sense linguistically, and walk with me, okay, because you're just spamming big words you don't even understand, right? When you're talking about that specifically, that's going to be indexed to what is called a conceptual scheme, which is how we evaluate concepts. You might not know about this, but if you're talking about how we evaluate concepts, right? It is in the vast majority of cases going to be talking about what is called primary intentions, because how we understand the necessary conditions or the sufficient conditions for a particular concept is how we make sense of a concept before applying it in a linguistic discourse. Do you understand the point I just made, or should I have to repeat it for you?
What's the concept behind you in this dress?
What's the concept? If you get a back shot in this
What's
conversation,
the
point at the view of the concept.
Come on, man.
What's the concept?
Come on, man.
What's the concept?
What's the concept
of
behind
you
you in
not
this
being
dress,
able to
though,
address
boy?
the point?
Veritas
No,
said
what's
it
the
was
concept
coming.
behind you in this dress?
What's the concept
What's
of
the
you not being able to
intentional
address the fact
rules?
you committed the blunder
What's
and
the
now you're
intentional rules,
running
though,
away?
boy?
Anything to avoid the
On
argument.
everyone's
Anything
life
to
in
avoid
this
the
live.
blunder.
This is Apollo right now.
Anything to avoid the blunder. Just to
On
be clear, on this,
wallahi,
you understand
tallahi,
that when there's a
billahi, this
recorded,
is
when there's an
Apollo.
audio recorded of
But
this conversation,
he can't big screen me. He
the
can't big screen me
YouTube
because he's
video
on
is
his
not going to
laptop.
actually see the dress. What they're
Apollo,
going to see
what's
is
the
you running
intentional
away
rules
from the
behind this
conversation.
dress? Go on,
What they're
tell
going to
me,
see
man.
But
is
you
you
just said the dress,
running
so
away.
now they'll know.
You're panicking right now. You're panicking right now. So are you going to
Oh
concede that you
my!
committed the blunder, which is why you
Don't
ran
be
away from the
arrogant,
point?
man.
Veritas, I have
That
a
is
Don't be
feeling
crazy.
your
arrogant.
rhetoric was better, my friend.
Don't be arrogant
Veritas,
with
you
me,
don't
bro.
even have rhetoric. What you do
Notice
instead
how I
is
told him,
what you
let's
do
have a
instead. What
charitable
you do instead
conversation.
is you do the
You
autistic
don't want to have a
thing.
charitable conversation? Fine.
Charitable conversation. I'm having a charitable conversation by pointing out how you basically committed the blunder and you didn't want to acknowledge the blunder, so you want to run away from the
So
conversation.
what's the blunder in
Right?
this dress?
Wait, so you don't know what the
What's the
blunder is
blunder in this
in the
dress,
claim that
Apollo?
you made? Is
What's the blunder in this dress?
the conversation about Trinitarianism or
The
hypostatic contradictory,
conversation.
or is it about this moron
The black
going off?
James
Wait,
Charles
so
thinks
tell me this. I'm gonna ask you a question.
that
Do
because
you
he's
have
read a bit of
fun? Do
classical
you have
logic,
fun
he
going
can talk to
off to a
Veritas
Chat
anyway.
GPT fabricated
This is
femboy
not from
picture?
ChatGPT. This is your
That's not from
selfie.
Chat GPT?
You took this
You
last
think
month.
that's not from Chat GPT?
You took
You
this
think
picture
so?
last month.
You think so?
Oh, Veritas, you're so beautiful. Oh,
Veritas, this
Veritas,
is
you're so
badly for the
handsome.
rhetoric. This is
Stay away
actually
from me,
badly
you
for the rhetoric.
freak.
You're getting like
Stay away
blown
from me,
apart in the
freak.
conversation. You got bent over,
Flipping
decimated, annihilated, obliterated,
James Charles from New
eviscerated
York,
to the
bro.
point where to run
James
away.
Charles from
You have to
Ohio,
run
bro.
away because you cannot
Some
have a
cat
substantive
boy.
conversation.
Some
You
cat boy.
realized you fucked up the moment
Talk about some AI.
you try to claim that carnivity
Shut
of
up, fam.
concepts, it has nothing
Now,
to do with
do you
primary
want to
intentions.
actually, do
You
you want to
don't
have the
even know what the point even
conversation
is.
now? Or you want to
I'm
keep chatting?
waiting
Because
for
I
the
got
response
more
to be argued.
pictures.
This
I got
guy,
more pictures.
guy's
Let me
asking
call
there was
G1 now.
substantive
Veritas, let
conversation
it
I got more
while he's
fly.
pictures.
running away. While
I got
he's
more
running away to
pictures.
pictures, he goons
So
off
you want to
in the
go
middle
back
of
to
the
the
night when he's
conversation?
lonely. This is insane. I'm waiting for the response,
Hello?
dude. I'm waiting for the
Hello?
response.
Do you want to come
Hello?
back to the
What's the comeback?
conversation?
What's the response?
You
Veritas,
want
what's
to
the
come back
comeback?
to the conversation?
Do you know what the
Yes or
point even
no?
is?
I
Do
think
you know what the current
Veritas is
point
being
even is?
charitable.
Veritas, do you know the point
I'm
even
being
is? Look
so
at the chat, bro.
charitable to this
People in the chat are saying
pedophile,
you're
by the way.
running away right now, Veritas.
This
You think this is good
disgusting
rhetoric?
rat.
That's funny. You think that's good rhetoric?
Okay, do you want to
The
come
chat
back
is
to the
literally clowning
conversation,
me
my
for
son?
running away. You're not doing good
Do
at
you
the
want
rhetoric,
to
dude.
come back to the conversation, my
I'm
son?
waiting for you to stop jerking off to an
The
AI
whole
picture and get back to the
what?
conversation.
Okay, yeah, get the hell out
Okay?
of here, bro.
Look at him stuck. He's stuttering over his words. He can't even pronounce his words properly. That's crazy. No, anyways, get back to the
Shut your
point.
lame ass up, bro.
We could understand Veritas. We just couldn't understand you. That's why you crashed out
Shut
whenever
your
we both
lame
said,
ass.
huh?
Exactly.
Listen, Veritas said, "Oh, you want to go? You want to play that game?" Veritas warned him. Veritas like, "You want to be like cordial and have a nice conversation, or do you want to go with the rhetoric?" And Veritas went off screen and brought the receipts. I love
I
it. It's
got it,
beautiful.
bro. I got
I
my
love it.
receipts, bro.
Well, that makes
And
sense,
we have way
because
more.
he's a Muslim, so I guess it makes sense. Someone said he talks to underage kids too, so that tracks.
He did.
I mean, doesn't
He
even
has
like
he has a whole
equal.
fart
Just leaked
fetish,
his
by the way.
just leaked his picture.
Weird.
That's like equals talking shit.
So what's up, Umar? You're on the live.
Yeah, I'm good. So like by the way, that wasn't like equal to what you did. Like talking shit to someone, then leaking his
Bro,
picture.
can you just shut up and get to
Aren't
the
equal
point?
actions. Well, Veritas, I had like some questions to you because like
Oh,
you're
that's
like
great.
I've heard that you like studied logic and stuff.
Why don't you
speak up?
dictate? Why don't you aim them towards me, Umar? It's my live. We can have
Richard,
a
would you
True.
shut up?
conversation.
It is Constantine's life.
Oh, he put the
Yeah, but like
glasses on.
Yeah, Veritas, I had like some questions to you regarding to logic, because
You said
for that, like,
Veritas, but I'm the host. Would you like to address them to me?
well, they're more specifically to the word like Veritas.
Well, why is that? Veritas is a guest.
Because I think like Veritas, obviously, he knows like the parent, he acts like he knows like about logic and stuff.
Okay.
So I was like interested.
I like logic.
Oh yeah, but like I'm more specifically referring to like Veritas.
That's interesting, Umar. That's
Oh, it
very
sounds like a
interesting.
personal
I kind of feel like
vendetta.
uncomfortable when you speak to me that way. That's kind of weird.
That's fine. You can think about it in the comments if you refuse to engage. Is that your
Okay,
choice?
maybe I can ask you.
Sure.
Can you tell me how you define truth conditions of propositions?
Yeah, I would first ask you what the
GTS.
fundamental revelatory principle that ultimately dictates possibility
Yeah, I
and
was asking you a
impossibility
question
when
first,
regarding the
I
equal
forgot.
ultimacy of unity and distinctions within Tawheed. So how does it reconcile
Yeah,
this
so obviously
problem?
that's just a dodge.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm dodging your pivot, but here I
Wait,
am.
so like when I asked you to like when you said to me, ask me a
Yeah,
question
I'm gonna say
about
that's gonna.
logic,
I'm gonna say
I was
that language
supposing that
has
you're
to
gonna
be.
give me an answer.
I'm
That
gonna
isn't
say
really
that
like an
language has
answer,
to be
isn't it?
qualified, and if you
Wait, is that
qualify that
really an
language,
answer to my
yep.
question?
And if you
though?
qualify that language with Tawheed, I want to know what makes it. What
So
makes
is
it
that like
absolute.
answering my question? Is that supposed to be like
So
an
your
answer?
rhetoric's not going to help you from the box that you just
My
wound up in.
rhetoric, me
Yeah.
asking you to answer my question is
Yeah,
rhetorical.
asked and answered
Nice.
because you're the,
Now
the
you're like
answer to that
reiterating
question is that the
yourself
language has to
multiple
be
times.
qualified.
Obviously, this like
Okay, so are you
you're
not
just
going to
dodging.
answer? So what is it within
Well,
Tawheed that
obviously, you said you're
dictates?
gonna be answering my
What is it
question
within
first. That's why I
Tawheed
asked the
that
question.
dictates
You told me to
plurality and
engage with
unity
you.
within an
Now I'm
ultimate
giving you the
reality that's
question.
co-equal
All
and
of this not an answer
co-fundamental?
to my question, by the way. Pretty much a dodge from you.
No,
I
you
can
mean I'm
reiterate my
dodging your
question
pivot?
if you
Yeah, I'm
like.
dodging your
You didn't
pivot.
understand the question. I
Yeah,
can maybe
yeah,
reiterate to you.
yeah. Go ahead. Answer the question. Ask the question
Okay, so you want
again.
me to reiterate the question?
Yeah,
go ahead.
reiterate the
So how do
question.
you define truth conditions for
Yeah, truth
propositions
conditions are
under
ultimately
GTS?
defined from the Trinity, and so with your
Under
paradigm,
GTS,
yeah,
under
and
GTS,
within
I
your
asked you a
paradigm,
question.
what is it that
I
dictates
qualified. You
possibility and
didn't answer.
impossibility? Don't run
Yeah,
from me.
that's
Don't
not
run
answering the
from me.
question because I
Don't run
qualified
from me.
under
I'm dodging. I'm
GTS.
dodging your pivot. Don't run from me,
Oh, you're
coward.
dodging my
Don't run
question.
from me,
So
coward.
obviously you're having like an
So here's the problem.
uncharitable
What is it in
conversation, you
Tawheed that
dumb fuck,
dictates
right?
truth and not truth? What is it within your
Well,
paradigm?
obviously that's not answering
Is
the
God the
question because I
sustainer of
asked you
all
how to define.
facts? Is
Like,
Allah not the
I think you're not
sustainer of
answering
all
my
facts?
question.
What
That's
is it
not an
within his
answer, by the way,
composition
to my question,
ontologically
you
that
dumb fuck.
dictates values of truth
So
and
obviously
values
this
of
is still
false
like a
propositions?
dodge,
What is that?
right?
You run
When
from
we
me again,
evaluate,
that's
I
going to
can
be
like help
one.
you out, but it's like really a dodge from your side.
One.
Because
Oh,
when
wait,
we
it's a
evaluate,
dodge. I'm dodging your pivot.
yeah, I can tell you right now.
Cool.
Because when we evaluate truth, right?
No, I didn't ask how you evaluated truth. I asked what is it that qualifies truth within the paradigm that is consistent
Yeah,
with
what
your
qualifies?
criteria.
Yeah, we can
Yep.
express truth.
No.
using, like,
That's
one
no.
word.
Let me reiterate this.
Yeah, you're
X
confused.
yeah, I am
All
confused.
of this not
X
answering my question,
conditions
by the way.
Y therefore X. That's the formulation of the argument. X conditions Y therefore X. You need to solve
X
for
conditions Y, Y therefore X.
That's right.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
Oh, it doesn't make sense? I just made that up.
Nope. Oh,
Okay, so X conditions
presumably-
Y therefore X. So what is the ultimate
doesn't make
qualifier of Y? So you're positing a model of language. I'm asking you what makes that language qualified? What in Tawheed, if God is the ultimate renderer of all facts, what is it that makes this personable, attributable, and you can dictate possibility and impossibility? What is it?
That is me answering my question, so I don't know how this relates.
Oh,
to the
yeah.
topic I
So you can't answer? That's crazy. That's crazy. You had so much confidence. So what is it within Tawheed that does
well,
that?
obviously, right? This is not even related to the question I had.
Oh, you're right. So you're just going to beg the question and automatically move to Y without
Wait,
solving
can you
for
define
X.
begging the question for me? real quick?
Yeah, when you assume the premise, when you assume the conclusion in your premise.
So can you tell me how I did that? Go ahead.
Yeah, you moved immediately to Y without qualifying for X.
What? And that's begging the question, you dumbass?
Yeah, because you assumed that
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to
that's
answer
what I
that
thought,
question
fucking
because
dumbass
you've already
fuck.
assumed that it
It's
was going to
gonna
be
get
true.
rhetorical, I shit
It's
on
going
your
to assume
entire
that it's going to be
lineage, fucking
true
concubine
by
that you are.
passing up
But
X
look, you
because you
dumbass
wanted to
cunt.
dodge
Look,
the
you
argument.
dumbass
What'd you say?
concubine.
What'd you
And
say
my
to me?
intentional- my
What'd you say
first
to me?
question I asked-
Bro, what'd you say to me?
Hey, you dumbass. Look.
Wait, would you try again? What'd you say to me? Let's try this again.
Oh, that your lineage is my concubines?
X
Yeah, that's what I said.
So X conditions Y therefore X. What is it?
Yeah, that's answering the
I
question.
have to remove you because it says there's themes are uncomfortable to remain. So you can come back up on an alt. Come back up on an alt. And remember, don't assume Y before you solve X. That's the question. You're assuming Y, which is in question, therefore you're begging it. Okay, I got to remove you. Come on back up when you're ready.
Wait, what did he say about his mom?
Come on back up when you're ready, Umar. Woo! Hold on, stay still. Don't move. Stay still. I'm trying to catch you. That's the wrong. Hold on. Stay still. I can't bring you up on this one. You got to go on and alt because of the. Hold on. Let me check my guest box.
I don't see him in the guest box. Checking. Who is No? KNOW.
I don't know.
Is that him? Oh.
Brother, these guys are such larpers, dude. It's hilarious. They resort to insults and ad-homs to get kicked because they're running.
Yeah, I heard him say something about his mom.
Yo.
Yeah, bro, they're just pathetic cowards.
Umar can get nasty with the rhetoric, right? But if we can try to calm it down, maybe we can have a conversation. All right, blah. I see you, Umar. Hold on. Come on back up. So Umar, here we are again.
Yeah, so go ahead. So like the first question I asked you, and you told me like I need to like direct the question towards you, not towards like the guest. The question was, how do you define? Okay, can you like?
Yeah, and so how I would define it would be within the model that the Trinity presents
under
itself.
GTS, I asked
which is
you.
I
Under
know you did,
GTS.
but
That's
that
not
has to
under
be
GTS, by
qualified.
the way.
That has to be qualified. That's begging the question
Wait,
because
yeah,
the question
so I
is X
qualified
solves for
already
Y,
for you,
Y
I
therefore
told
X. No, you didn't because you didn't condition Y. What does it solve for X?
That has nothing
You can't
to do
track
with
the.
answering
You don't think so? You can't track the literature. You can't track the
You
literature.
think? Okay, so the answer to my
what am I
question
saying
is
to you?
X conditions
Umar, what am
Y,
I saying
X
to you,
therefore
Umar? What am I saying to you?
Right.
If I say
you think
X
that's
conditions,
how you
if
define
I say
the
X
truth
conditions Y, Y
condition
therefore X, what am
under
I saying?
GTS?
What am I saying?
Wait, so you think that's how you define the truth conditions?
That
under
has
GTS?
nothing to do with what I asked you.
Oh,
what
wait,
am I saying?
good. So that was my question, and you just conceded that.
Oh
what
no,
you're
no,
asking
that's not a concession. That's you not understanding the literature.
Thank you
don't
for
get
the
argument.
concession. Yeah, thank you for
That's
the
not a
concession.
concession. You don't
literally said
understand the
that.
literature because
That's
you're
nothing
slow.
what we have to talk about.
Has
Then
nothing
obviously,
to
let's
do
go
with
what
the
we're
question.
talking about.
You
because
haven't
that was what
qualified the
we
language
were
model.
talking about.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna. I
Right?
know you won because
Obviously,
you said so, but you haven't
concede-
qualified the
you
language
just
model because you
conceded
can't track
that
the
has nothing
argument.
to do with what we're talking about.
You
So obviously,
have
go back, we're
conceded
talking
that you
about
can't
truth and
qualify
truth,
the language model because you went straight to Y and you didn't solve for X. You don't understand what I'm asking you
Look,
because you're rhetorically slow.
I already told you. Already qualified.
You already
right?
qualified it. How? Within what metaphysical paradigm of adequacy did you qualify it? What
You're
was
obviously
it?
just interrupting me.
What is it?
because you're
What
just
is
a
it?
Clown.
What is
Okay,
it? How
like,
did you
answer the
qualify it?
kind
Tell
of
me how you
question.
qualify. I'm going to mute up. How'd you qualify it?
Yeah, I already told you. I was asking you to define the truth conditions under GTS, right? Which is gonna be like a game theoretic semantics developed mainly by Jacob Hintaka. Right, so go ahead, answer the question.
Yeah, sure. Here's the problem with the question is it assumes neutral territory, but there isn't any. See, that's the problem.
Assumes neutral territory?
It assumes
It's
neutral
kinda like
territory.
some
Holy,
fucking
yo,
dumb
this guy's lost. But you don't understand because the problem is that you're so busy studying analytic philosophy that you're getting dog-walked on continental philosophy. X conditions Y. The language model that you're using is Y. Solve for X to qualify Y. You keep presenting Y as the argument, but you haven't earned it. Dodge the
A
question
question
again.
is not an argument by the... Well,
Dodge
I
the
was giving
question
you, like,
again.
integrative, so that's not a... Wait, you're asking
That's
me...
just going to be meta.
You're
That's an
talking
argument about
like,
the argument. Try
argument.
again.
I was never
Try
giving
again,
you an
Umar.
argument. So I was not like...
Give me X.
I was never even giving
Solve
you an
for X,
argument
Umar.
for it to be...
Solve
I was never
for
even
X,
giving
Umar.
you an... You're confused. I never even asked
I'm
you an
confused.
argument,
Solve for
because
X,
integrative
Umar.
are not supposed to be like giving arguments.
Umar,
So
solve for X.
me even begging the question, giving you an integrative,
Umar, solve
right,
for
is
X.
already confused in itself.
Yeah, it's confused.
Right?
It's confused.
Okay,
so
so,
solve for X.
you agree that what you just satisfied
No,
is
I
confused.
agree
That's
that you
also
have no
okay.
idea what the
Thank
literature
you,
that I've read.
Constantine.
Yeah, so
Right,
solve
thank you,
for X.
Constantine.
Solve
Thank
for
you, bro.
X.
Thank you.
Solve for X. No? Okay, so you want to just
You're
jump straight to
confused.
Y? So the language model hasn't been qualified from your paradigm, so why should I accept it as neutral territory? Oh no!
Wait.
Oh no!
You're so confused.
You're so confused.
Yo, Constantine, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think? What do you think a language model is? Go ahead.
Yeah, a language model would be modal. A language model would be logical. There can be several language models, but here's the problem: there has
That's
to be an
not
adequate
answering the
metaphysical.
question,
That has to be an
you
adequate
dumb fuck.
metaphysical foundation
Yo,
that
that's not answering
qualifies
the
a language
fucking
model.
question. Yeah, what-
That's why solve for
Language
X.
model could be multiple
Yeah,
models.
that's
Yo,
why
this is
solve for
embarrassing.
X. The language models are all in the category of
A
Y.
language model could be a language model X solve for X. Yeah,
No, no, no. You're not tracking. Try and listen. Try and listen.
I literally just read what you said.
No, no, no. Check this out. You're not tracking. You're not listening.
Can you
You're not
stop
listening.
switching and having like a good
X,
conversation? Can you
X
not also get like too close
is
to
the
the camera?
condition for Y.
I'm disgusted seeing your
Y,
ugly face. So don't get too
therefore
close. Like
X,
back up.
solve
That's what I
for
thought.
X.
Oh, I'm sorry. It must be the beard. You're a little too old for him.
Solve for
Lola
X
likes them young,
before
I
you can
hear.
condition Y. Can you do that?
If you can tell me how this relates to the question.
Yeah, of course it does, because you're using a language model that you've asserted is neutral territory that I haven't granted you yet. So that language model has to be qualified.
Can you tell me how to define a language model?
Yeah, that has nothing to do with what I just told you.
Wait, me asking you to find a language model.
A language
right,
model
nothing
can
to
be
do
a
with you
modal
asking me.
language. A language model
Okay,
can
so
be a
obviously you're
linguistic
confused
model.
again.
It can be any model that is in a neutral territory, but it is
Yeah,
not
that's not-
neutral
no,
because
yeah,
there's
that's
not
not
an
defining
adequate
it right.
metaphysical
Yeah, that's not defining
because
it.
there's not an adequate
So a
metaphysical
language model could
foundation.
be-
There's not an adequate metaphysical
Yeah, go ahead,
foundation in
define
which you have
linguistic.
qualified it, right? So you're just going to assume Y, but you haven't qualified for X yet. So what is X?
Yo, X is your mom getting banged from behind.
Wait, hold on, chill with that stuff.
It's always the Muslims. Like it's always the Muslims.
Yo, can I just say, Constantine, like, brother, respectfully, I don't know why, like, we're upping these guys. Like, this Apollo guy
Anything
talks to kids,
to
that
run
guy's
away.
a clown. Like,
Anything
what?
to run
We're
away
giving
from
them
Apollo.
Wait a
we're
minute.
giving them
Anything,
a
could him
platform.
stuttering.
Are you guys not having a good time?
I mean, Apollo, it is true though.
Constantine
Why would I not have
is
a-
not gonna,
Tamani's, he's a
Constantine is not gonna
predator.
fall
And
for
that
your
Umar
lame
is just a
rhetoric.
bot, dude. What are we
Whereas
doing?
you think that utilizing fabricated allegations is gonna justify you
I
sprinting
just
and
don't
galloping
understand why
away
we're
like a deer or donkey.
platforming genuine
What
predators,
child have I talked
and
to?
like absolute
What
creeps. Yeah,
child have I
Az.
talked
Remember
to?
when you
Name one
talked to her
child.
baby in her
Name one.
DMs? Do you remember that?
Name
And then
one
Kurt
child.
added you.
Name one child.
Yeah, as the 17-year-old you spoke to,
You're
absolute
telling
child
someone
predator.
you're
You're a
telling someone
weirdo.
to kick someone down
Yeah,
because they're
because you're
talking
a
to someone
predator,
2
bro. You
years
speak to
younger.
minors. You don't
You think
deserve a
someone's a
platform on the internet.
predator
You speak
for
to
talking to
minors.
someone who's above the age of consent who is 2 years younger.
It doesn't
You sound
matter. You're a
idiotic.
predator, bro.
It doesn't
They're a
matter if the
minor.
person is above the age of
I know
consent.
your
You don't care about the
prophet
age of
did that,
consent.
but they're a
You don't care
minor,
about the age
bro.
of consent.
So
You
we're
don't
gonna
care about
get.
the
So
age of
we're gonna
consent.
get. So listen, we're gonna get to the debates. We're gonna get to the debates. We're gonna get to the debates, right? We're gonna get to the
You want to have a
debates
debate right now
We're gonna
on
get
your
to the
position
debates.
without you running away. Because this guy just said on the recording
just kick Apollo.
that he doesn't care about age of consent.
Apollo, you already got doxxed by Coat, bro. You
I
got
got
outed.
doxxed?
Calm down.
I got
You
doxxed
got
by who?
outed. You got exposed.
Look at him running. Look at him running.
You got exposed. You're a sophist.
You got
Shut
exposed.
your
That's your
mouth.
argument for your position. That's your
Look
argument.
at you crying. This is why you
Look
ditched
at you
Roblox.
Constantine,
Are you here to
tell me what you want me
Are
to
you here
do.
to make a clown of yourself?
Let's just
or
get
are you
rid
here
of
to
both of
debate?
them.
Which one is it?
Get rid of both
Get
of
rid of
them.
them both.
Even the host is frustrated by you just running away, dude, and you got kicked down.
Appreciate that.
All right.
Whew.
Well, this was fun. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to render the gospel, and we're going to go ahead and end the live. That was crazy because I've got all kinds of restrictions, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna get
That
hit
was
too much.
brutal. That was fun. Okay, even though that was fun, we're going to go ahead and end the live here. And God is holy, righteous, and just. And what should a holy, righteous judge do? He should act in accordance with his nature. But you don't want justice, you want grace. An emissary has been sent on your behalf. Him who knew no sin bore the weight of sin so that we might know the righteousness of God through him, and him whose name is Jesus Christ. And through repentance and belief, you can have eternal reconciliation as well as eternal life. We urge you to take that repentance today in Jesus' name. Listen, guys, it's been awesome. It's been another episode of the Constantine Chronicles. I got to eat these restrictions now. But I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank
All right.
you.
God
Have a
bless.
blessed day to them.
God bless, man.
God bless. God bless.
God bless. God bless.